Good evening, and welcome to and happy Friday. Good evening. Can you hear me? All right. So tonight we have Brett the Breton back on the stream as we continue to solve mysteries in London. And yeah, it's a DOS game and it shows its age a little bit, but it's actually pretty fun and still mostly holds up. Um, Brett, are you here? All right. So we're just waiting for Brett to start talking, and then we'll be good to go.
Everything's great. Okay, so I can see him talking on the video on his feed, which I have up, but he's not coming through my audio source now, and he was before. Hold on. Oh, okay. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You disappeared for a
Excellent.
little bit. I saw you talking on your screen and no sound was coming out.
Yeah, I had weirdness here. It started doubling up my audio, and I don't know what the deal was, but either way, it seems to be fixed now. I'm trying a different mic tonight, also.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close
Sure.
your stream window because I only have two
Right.
screens, so I need to be able to focus on the game and my studio. But that was
Right.
really up just so we could coordinate our splash screens. So I won't see
Right.
your
Right.
chat. I won't see your chat, and you won't see my chat. So if anything important is going on in the chat, just fill me in.
So all of our mutual friends out there can feel free to bounce back and forth between the chats and talk about us where we can't see it. That's what that's for. Okay. Let's see. Let me get some stuff going here. Not
Okay.
that.
In other news, while we wait for him to finish setting up, I had a crisis today. My phone finally died. Well, it was
Dun, dun,
way
dun.
it was way past. It was. I've been keeping that phone going way longer than I should have. It was an old phone, and I knew it would have to be replaced sooner or later. So, yeah, we're
Yeah,
just waiting for the new one to arrive. And
there we go.
I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose like all the progress I made in one game I've been tracking for a year and a half that doesn't have cloud backup, but it shouldn't take me more than 2 weeks to recover everything that matters from that. So I'll be good
Yeah.
to go. I should be good to go. Uh, that's the only big thing that I'll be losing with a phone transfer. Oh, and I just realized I have to back up my photos. I can do that easily though. Um, all right.
You
So,
have wait, you've got Google Drive. You should have them backed up regardless, or Google
well,
rather.
I don't,
Yeah, you have to turn it
but
on, but
I would have to turn the phone back on. But it'll be a simple matter to get that folder up. It's not
yeah.
nearly as big a folder as the 5 gig folder with 17,000 files from the game. But I have an older
Well,
version of that folder backed up, so I should be okay.
yeah. Google does automated backup also. So,
Yeah, but
but you have to turn on the feature though.
I didn't. I don't think I have that turned on for my photo feed. But
Ah,
really,
too bad. If you do turn it on, and I subscribe to Google One, it's like $20 a year. I forget how many uh, gigs or whatever you get for storage, but it's a lot for $20. It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
I
But
pay.
yeah, I think the freebie that they give you fills up pretty quickly, and they start nagging. I think so.
Well, I pay $2 a month for 100 gigs of storage, and I do
That's on Google One.
well on Google Drive.
Well, I think Google Drive, I think, is part of Google One or something because I think it
All
comes with the
right.
same subscription. I'm not sure.
So
Anyway, whatever.
in other words,
Our
I
our
was right.
viewers can research this on their own.
Yeah, I was right to back up all those video files last month because I would have lost my queue of what didn't I check out yet. So
Mm,
so
yeah.
I have those ready to go on the Google Drive when I get the new phone. Or I could watch
Good,
those from
good,
the
good.
computer. That's the other benefit of Google Drive, phone or computer. Whereas if it was on board, it would be one or the other.
All right. Do you have you've got the do you have the game up or
Yeah, I
why
have
don't
the
I
game
see it?
up. I'm going to switch my
Okay.
cameras over.
There we go.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not switching any cameras because I technically am not running cameras tonight. I have a browser and I have my studio, and that's it.
Yep. Cool, cool.
Computer
I'm not sure.
temperature looks not bad, but it did spike a little bit. But I think it's
Yeah.
just a matter of the studio and the Discord all going at once. That may have
I
something to
may
do with my Fortnite issues.
I may switch mics halfway through because this is more of a like a distance mic. I mean, it sounds okay when I get up to it like this, but like it's I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right.
Let me experiment with it for a second. But yeah, we're good to kick it on anytime you like.
Yeah, we've been talking quite a bit long, so let's go ahead and get
I got
things
my official
started.
Red Bull, so we're good to go.
Yeah, let's get started. Uh, so we're in the game window. Are
Let's
you in
get
the?
it started. Oh, sorry.
So what do you see from my screen right now?
Eagle Eye Mysteries with the waving people.
Okay, good. Then you're not going to see
Shiny
that
happy
anymore. We're
people
going into the
waving
game.
hands. Huh?
You're not going to see that anymore. We're going into the game.
Okay, goodbye, waving happy shiny people. I'll miss you. I'll
All
miss you
right,
badly.
so as we go into the first mission book, I think in the interest of seeing all the characters, when we do the second case book, I'm going to switch to Jennifer.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do anything special for the voice because I can't do girl voice.
You should get one of those apps that tweaks your voice around. Those are pretty fun. I've
I'll
got that on my what is this thing? My mixer board. It does all these digital effects, but they don't patch into the signal for some reason. I don't know what's up with that.
If we do hit the halfway point tonight,
User
which
error.
is a real possibility, then I may request that we take next week off, just to have a little break before we go into the second case book. I actually think the way we divided up the episode, the mysteries across episodes, worked out pretty well. Because this will come out to 4 streams to the first half, and if we do the second half the same way, although the second half, let's go ahead and decide to subdivide the second half into 5 episodes of 5 mysteries, because I think those
Decide to
are a little bit
subdivide.
longer. What?
I said decide. Whoa, my mic is way too hot. Hang on a second. I changed the positioning on my mic and it just like blew my eardrums out. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. So I think maybe for the second case book, because those mysteries are more advanced, maybe we should try 5 episodes of 5 and not try and stack like 7 mysteries in one stream.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Meanwhile,
How's
let's.
does real quick? Does my audio sound distorted or is it fairly
No,
clear? Or how does
it's
it sound
clean
to you?
right now. Why were we? Oh, I accidentally clicked into the scrapbook. That's why that flashed on the screen. And yes, the
Okay.
game makes us scroll every time, but here's what's left.
The ASMR portion of our show.
So it looks like we're starting tonight with the case of the Frankenstein fraud. And the following case, the case of the pirate prank, that is the one case that I have distinct memories of before going into the case. But like I said, with all these mysteries, memories come back to me once we're inside the mystery. So, Frankenstein fraud.
fraud sounds like a 1950s novelty single. He was a fraud. He was a Frankenstein fraud. He was a fraud. He was the Frankenstein fraud.
And it looks like Nigel's up.
Nigel. He's my favourite. Let's hear from Nigel. All right, here we go. So we're starting. I gotta fix my camera real quick. I don't understand. I don't move these things. I don't know why they move around. All right, 3, 2, 1. Jake, my friend Dorothea rang me from the Fighting Club. You think you and Uncle Evie could shoot by there and help her out?
Sure, Nigel, I suppose so. What's up?
I don't know. She blabbered something about Frankenstein. You know, the big ugly bloke with the boats in his neck. She was all worked up about it.
Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
I'm going to correct you. It's pronounced Frankenstein.
And my name's Igor. They said your name was Igor. Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
Actually, Nigel,
One of my
Frankenstein
favorite.
isn't the name of the monster. It's the name of the doctor who makes the monster come alive. You know the guy who goes, "It's alive! It's alive!" That's Dr. Frankenstein. The monster is just the monster.
We're going to keep it Frankenstein. I think that's a good thing to do. I should have known you'd know all about it, Jake. You're so smart with your long words and things. Why don't you go with Uncle to see what's up with Dorothea?
Sure thing, Nigel. Come on, let's go.
Let's do this. I got the cab fare. Let's go.
So we're going to go to the Phaeton Club.
The Phaeton Club.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Well, they've been doing a membership drive, you see. They've been giving away chicken sandwiches.
Isn't that like the whole cast of the game? Or the whole teenager cast of the game, I think.
Oh, please tell me they don't all talk here. All right, here we go. Thanks so much for coming. You two just seem so bright, and I just had to know. If it was true and I didn't buy it, I'd never forgive myself.
Well, Dorothea, take a deep breath or two, then slowly tell us what the heck you're talking about.
Sorry, you see, they're selling off these old books, and there's a book here I think might be an original. The original Frankenstein.
Could be. Frankenstein was a book, you know, before they made it into a movie.
I have to. Oh, no, that's Nigel. Oh, God. Okay. I have to figure out if I should buy this book. It costs £10, which is all the money I have. But if you think it's really authentic, I'll spend it all.
Wow, £10. That's like $15. That's a lot of money for an old book. Maybe we should take a look at it first. In today's
Oh, wow.
in today's money, that's actually a
That's
steal.
No, that's a steal. But what I'm marveling over is the exchange rate. £10, $15. That's about what it is still today, which is crazy.
You
I would have
can't
thought it would have fluctuated a little bit, but no, it's about the same. It's half again, essentially, in U.S. dollars.
you can't really get a good book for $15 these days. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
average good books go
magazine.
for 30.
I was at a drugstore yesterday or day before yesterday. Anyway, the magazine rack, I couldn't believe it because I haven't looked at magazines in forever because magazines, you read them, you throw them away, whatever. It was 17, $18 for a magazine, and I was like, I actually made that noise in the store, and I think it alarmed people, so I didn't do it again. But anyway, the point is magazines are expensive. All right. Would you? That would be so ace. Maybe you could talk to the other kids and see if they think it's real or what. If it's fact or crap.
After that, we can hop over to the British Library.
Great idea. The British Library. Oh, wait, what? The British Museum's library is the only place nearby where you can find out if the book is authentic. Without hours and hours of research, that is, because who has time for that?
That's it. Come on, let's check it out. Okay, it looks like everyone does talk.
Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, we can do this. I have faith in us and me and my microphone.
I think they're all people we've seen before in like
They are.
one-offs and two-offs.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Can't remember what this guy sounds like. Hey, you're Jake Eagle, right? And Uncle Evie. Which book do you think I should get? I can't decide between this one about Africa or this one about cricket.
Just take the book about African crickets.
There you go. Why not both.com.
Well, I'm not too hot on cricket, Griff. When I go to the games, I still can't really figure out what's going on. What's the one about Africa like?
The English can't figure out what's going on either, if you know what I mean. Oh. It's written by this explorer about 100 years ago, I guess, and he talks about wandering in the jungle and meeting the kings of African tribes. Why did I make him Australian?
Sounds pretty cool, Griff. Did you see that book about Frankenstein?
Don't you mean Frankenstein?
It's Frankenstein!
My name is Igor Johnny's. John's, whatever his name is. Yeah, it seems cool, but door 3's got dribs. Bleh. Man, I gotta untie my tongue at some point. It seems cool, but Dorothy's got dibs on that one. Actually, I think I'll get this book over here. It's all. Why am I making him Australian? Stop that. It's all about Roger Bannister, the guy who ran the first 4 minute mile. I'm a runner myself, you see. Got a pretty decent stride, too. Me mum says it's 'cause I got such great big feet. Ha.
Wow, no offense, Griff, but you really do have big feet, even for a guy.
Yeah. All the better to run with, mate. Now, if I can move my big feet quick enough, I'll be able to make it to the oval cricket ground in time for the match. Ha.
Hey guys, see anything you like at the book sale?
Ha. Not terribly likely. Dreary tomes, every one of 'em. Musty and dusty. Worse than me mum's. Drivel. Diabolical. Appalling. In poppycock. Shall we off to the match then? Righto. As soon as I finish looking over this grimy old copy of Treasure Island, pirates, can't get enough of them.
And preview coming attractions, the next mystery tonight is going to be about pirates.
Da 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 da. Real. That'll give me a chance to polish off this old Ian Fleming. That James Bond's always had me gobsmacked. 007 rules.
And I have the only James Bond Lego minifigure that Lego ever officially released.
Really? What's that from?
The Speed Champions car, believe it or not.
That had a James Bond figure?
The Aston Martin DB5 James Bond car, Speed Champions,
Okay.
did come with a James Bond minifigure, and they even found a way to sneak his gun into the set unofficially.
How'd they do that?
Well, because the designer used the gun for like one of the details on like one of the car parts, and
Okay.
and you know how Lego on the like little tiny 1x1 bits, they put extras in the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that piece is one of the pieces that apparently counts as an extra. So there was an extra one of the gun pieces that you could give to James Bond.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Anyway, let's keep. We have a bunch more people
Yeah.
to talk to.
Keep your moving.
All right, Kelly and Rebecca are both tennis champions. Remember? I think Kelly is really nice. Let's see what it is they're talking about. I think we've met everyone here before.
I think so too, yeah. Real quick before I forget, something I was going to tell you earlier, but I was trying to get ready for the stream and all that. I may be doing a Lego stream tomorrow night as well. Maybe if it shows up and if I feel like messing with it. I got the retired lunar lander. I was able to find one on Goodwill.com that was unopened, and it was less than retail. So, and I looked on eBay, and they were like, retail plus a half. So I'm glad I got that. But I'll post what I'm doing. All right. It's a lovely book, but not what I choose to spend my readies on. Let's go shopping at Covent Garden. A brilliant idea, Kelly. Except I've got to dash. Errands to run, Come on, Bex. I know your mum just gave you loads of dash for... Dash? Dosh. That's right, like a slang for cash. All right. Come on, Bex. I know your mum just gave you loads of dosh for new tennis shoes. The ones you're wearing today are quite worn through. I need some as well. All that running about while playing tennis wears them out so quickly. Sorry, Kel. I've really got to fly. My dad asked me to help him out his shop on Quaint Street today. Maybe later, Kay. Oh, Uncle and Jake, good to see you. I was just on my way out.
So a lot of these chats are really irrelevant.
Yeah, it sounds like they totally.
I don't remember if we've seen Gordon
I don't remember
before.
Gordon. Yeah, I don't remember.
He might be new. He looks like the nerdy type, though. Hey, Gordon, found any books you like?
Excuse me. Huh? What? Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading. I'm still looking at the first book I picked up. I don't know about any of the others. I think I shall buy this book. It's all about the castles of Spain. Quite fascinating, really. How they differ from English castles.
Do you happen to get a look at that old copy of Frankenstein? That's supposed to be a pretty good story.
That one did look fairly popular. Dorothea got a death grip on it first time she saw it, and I noticed Rebecca and Griff drawing it over her shoulder, too. Ugh. I suspect Rebecca wanted to see if it would be better than the movie. Odd, isn't it? How a book can sometimes be so much better than a movie based on it. And Griff's always got his eye out for really ancient-looking books. He fancies he might one day find a rare old edition that's worth a fortune. I guess that's it for him.
Listen to this. It was a dark and stormy night, and the rain, which had been seemingly falling for hours on end, had turned the avenue to one long, dark, damp, and dismal bog. Have you ever read such rubbish? That one takes.
Excuse me. What should I do for her?
That one takes the biscuit.
No, that's the same voice. Damn it. I suddenly have lost control of my voice.
Wasn't she in
That
one
one
of the
takes.
theater ones?
What's up?
Wasn't she in one of the theater ones from early on?
Maybe?
She looks familiar.
know.
The other girl who's with her did not.
Quite possibly.
That one takes the biscuit.
God, kicking my microphone all over the place. This is not going to work.
That one takes the biscuit. It's no wonder some of these books have been lost for 100 years. Some of them need to be lost for another 100.
Have you two
'Cause
found?
they're cracked.
Have you two found any books that are any good?
Oh, there's one here filled with little poems about motor cars. I think my brother would just love it. But that's about all. I think I may buy one or two of the ones written by women.
How about that Frankenstein one?
I looked at it, but I can't find the author's name anywhere. I think that's peculiar. Anyway, Dorothea seems to have claimed it. It's in her pile of books to buy.
Guy Wingo. What did he sound
We've
like?
met
He's
him
not
before, but I don't remember where.
He's not the American, is he? That was a different guy.
Wasn't that the cricket player, the fraudster?
Yeah. The cricket player was Joe Swanson. I can't remember.
I know
Wingo.
Guy Wingo appeared before. I just can't remember which mystery he was in.
Let me try stodgy guy. See how that goes. The Feeding Club found this locker full of dusty old books, see? And they thought they'd sell them to the young people in the area. They want to get the kiddos to read. That's the deal. Oh, Tim Curry. That'll work. Excuse me. They asked me if I'd host the sale. I says, sure. All the money goes to charity, you know, to programs that help teach people how to read. She was somebody.
The cop lady.
Yeah, but what was the K9?
I wish they'd give it out a shot at these books. There's a really fine little volume of Victorian poems I'd love to have.
Wow, switching between these voices is hard. I just did this guy's voice, and I can't remember what the guy was. Oh, stodgy guy, that's right. Well, you'll have to wait. No, Tim Curry. Duh, I just said it. God, why? I'm just not here tonight. Well, you'll have to wait your turn, officer. After all, the law is the law. Today, only kids buy these books, and these kids are the first to arrive. And that's it for him.
The book appears to be quite old and almost worn out. On the cover, it reads Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. There is no author's name. I'm flipping through some of the pages. It does seem to be the story of Frankenstein, where a guy makes a monster come to life. But why doesn't it tell us who wrote it? It may be some kind of fake. When we're done here, we can find out the truth at the British Library.
The truth will be revealed.
Well, looks like we only have one place to go, and that is the library.
On a bus.
He's back. We missed him last episode. One thing I don't like
excellent.
One thing I don't like so much about London is the rain. That little shower on the way over here nearly drenched me. Thank heavens for Brawleys. Well, I hope Mr. Sneed is in a good mood today. His help in a fact search can make all the difference. Hey, excuse us, Mr. Sneed. We need to do some research about Frankenstein.
Narrator, Mr. Sneed is never in a good mood. Ha! Well, lucky for you, I've already pulled out all the books about Mary Shelley. And the young lady who requested them has just left.
Here they are.
That's a lucky coincidence. Mary Shelley, is she the one who wrote Frankenstein?
It's Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein!
Oh, sorry. Yes, yes, now if you excuse me, I must be about my business.
Prometheus. What does that name mean? Let's look it up in the dictionary. Here it is.
Dictionary entry says bad alien movie.
Here it is. It's the name of a guy from the old Greek myths. He's the one who stole fire from the gods and brought it down for humans to use. How can we find out more about Prometheus? Let's check out the books in the reference section and see what we find. Greek mythology, right?
Greek myths. Yep. Greek mythology.
Good choice. The story of Prometheus is a myth, which means he never really existed. So we never find him in a history book, but only in a book about myths. Well,
That's maybe
actually,
not entirely true. Yeah, yeah.
well, actually, it's believed that mythology, while being fantastical versions of stories, and can't actually have historically happened as written, it's believed that the mythological stories are based loosely on actual historical events, except without all the fantastical stuff. So maybe it's just that
They're
the
alien.
stories, as they really would have happened, with real world dynamics, would not be recognizable as the myths that they evolved into. So
They're all aliens.
Good.
Star Trek original series did an episode on that. It was pretty tight.
according to the myth, he's the one who started human civilization. But the gods were angry that he gave humans the power of fire and punished him. That's why Frankenstein is the modern Prometheus. Like Prometheus, he brought a powerful new knowledge into the world, and like Prometheus, he was punished for doing it.
It's pronounced Prometheus.
Sure enough, all these books say Mary Shelley began to write the classic Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus, in 1816. She was only 19 years old at the time. Here, listen to how she says that she wrote this story.
My friend brought over this stuff and we smoked it,
Ah.
and it was incredible. And then I wrote the story.
So it's I guess we're reading a quote from her autobiography or whatever. You want to take this, or since we're reading from pages, should I take this?
I'll go ahead and take it.
I was staying in Italy with my husband and some friends. To entertain ourselves, after dinner we would tell each other horror stories. But I couldn't think of any good ones. Until one night I had a dream. In my dream, a man named Frankenstein discovers how to use science to make a dead body come back to life. But although Mr. Victor Frankenstein hadn't learned how to... What? Although Mr. Victor Frankenstein learned how to create life, he didn't think ahead. He didn't know how to control the thing he created, and it eventually destroyed everything he loved.
Frankenstein was one of the first modern stories to warn people how scientific progress could turn to disaster if not wisely controlled.
Excuse me.
But wait, there's a note here about the story. In order to get her story published, Mary Shelley submitted anonymously. That means she didn't sign her name to it.
No, it means she put it on 4chan.
After 12 years, the story became a sensation. It was only then that Mary Shelley could get it published under her own name. Her book is still immensely popular today, as are the many spin-offs and Lego minifigures that were made based on it. I guess in those days, women weren't supposed to be writing books and stuff, but Mary Shelley didn't pay any attention to that at all. There's our answer. That old book is one of the earliest editions of Frankenstein. It might be worth a lot of money. Let's get back and tell Dorothea right away. Okay, so this is one of those two-part mysteries where a whole bunch of things open up after the initial research. We see those a lot in the second mystery book. We haven't really dealt with anything like that yet here. But we will, starting in the next episode. Next episode, I guess. Dorothea, good news. Looks like you found a real treasure. That copy of Frankenstein may very well be one of the first copies ever printed.
Yeah, who's this person? Dorothea.
Good news for Frankenstein, maybe, but not for me. It's been stolen right out from under my nose.
Stolen? How? By whom?
By the Frankenstein monster himself.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we know from the first round of conversations that Griff and Rebecca also had eyes on the book. So those are who I'm considering the main suspects right now.
Okay. I was waiting for you two to come back from the library when someone dashed in and grabbed the book. I couldn't tell who they were because they were wearing a hideous mask over their face. A Frankenstein mask. PC Bodbrook took off after the thief, but whoever it was, he or she was a terribly fast runner. I bet they got clean away.
Well, Griff and Rebecca are both athletes. We found out that book was authentic, Dorothea. It's probably worth a lot of money.
I guess so, Jake. Why would someone bother to steal it? He or she knew exactly where to find it, too. Snatched it right out my pile of books.
Really? That's a killer clue, Dorothea. Whoever dashed in and stole a book must have been here earlier and seen where you put it. The thief must have gone somewhere to find out that it really was valuable, got into disguise, and then come back and grab the book. He or she knew that you already had dibs on it, so they just stole it right out from in front of you.
Well, let's see. Only 4 people have been here and then left. Griff Jones, Kelly Apgood, Rebecca Locke, and that new girl, Grace White. One of them must be the thief. What I don't get is why anyone would steal it in the first place. It's just a silly old book.
Not just any old book, Nat. At the British Library, we found out that it was probably an original early edition. That means it could be quite valuable.
I flipped, you can't see this, I don't think, because you're not watching the stream, but I flipped my camera horizontally, because every time we've done this, it's just killed me. I don't want to redo my whole setup, but, like, I'm looking the opposite direction of the video, and now I'm looking at it, which is nice. So, yeah, it looks better. I like it. Really? And Dorothea spotted it right away. Good for her. That must be why she got so cagey when anyone else wanted to have a look at it. But how on earth did anyone else find out the book was valuable? The British Library is the only place I can think of where you could find that out for sure. And he's Tim Curry, yeah. Well, that's one cheeky bloke. I nicked that book right out under Officer Bodbrook's nose. Must have been a pretty desperate chap to do that. Pretty fast runner, too. All strong and muscular. Nipped in here and nipped out just as quick as you please.
Do you have any idea who that was underneath the monster mask?
Oh, no, but I'd love to find out. Sorry, mate. It all happened so fast. It was a kid. That's all I can tell you.
Near the table where Dorothea kept the books she wanted to buy is a muddy footprint pointing towards the door. Hey, look, remember it rained just after we left the Phaeton Club? Anyone who came back to the book sale after it rained would leave muddy prints. This footprint must be the thief's. It's the print of a sneaker, a pretty small one too. I have a suspect in mind, but of course we have to get all the clues.
Yeah, of
Remember,
course.
Griff had big feet, so it's not him. But the other kid in the first round of questioning said that Rebecca also had interest in the book. I think it's Rebecca.
Griff has big feet, and he can't deny. His shoe salesman knows just why.
So now we're on Quaint Street, where one of the kids said they were going.
Brother.
That must be Rebecca's dad's shop over there. Looks Locke's Sweet Shop. Cool, it's a candy store. Have you noticed that this business changes what it is like every time it appears?
We've gone over the whole cursed location.
This storefront is cursed.
I very much agree with that.
Locke's Sweet Shop has a large "Closed Today" sign hanging on the inside of the door. Might as well be closed permanently at this point because we'll never see it again.
Yep.
Bummer. We must have missed them. I was really hoping to get a bag of those chocolate buttons while we were here. I love English candy. Oh well.
He never had
Look,
any ever. Okay.
this novelty store has Frankenstein masks in the window. Frankenstein masks next door to where Rebecca was working. That's another
Does
clue.
she have the Does she have the Igor masks in her store?
Well, it's a
Because
candy
that
shop,
would
so
be
it's
that would be crazy cross promotion.
candy shop, so I would doubt it. But that same little cat is running around.
It's the Quaint Street cat.
A
Quincy.
sign on the door
Quincy, the
says
Quaint Street kitten.
a sign on the door says Puck's Gag and Costume Shop. See our other stores in Covent Garden, the Embarcadero, Chelsea, and Camden Town.
Way on down south in Camden Town.
I guess these Frankenstein masks can be bought all over London. Any one of our suspects might have picked one up. So that doesn't necessarily say anything. It wasn't one of the other kids going to Covent Garden.
I don't know. yes, they were. I think so.
And now we're going to Covent Garden, too.
On the bus, I'm taking big red bus. Everybody look at my big red
Jackpot!
bus.
I remember some of our suspects saying they might go to Covent Garden. Here are two of them now, Kelly Apgood and Grace White.
Well, we've been all over these shops.
Twice now, probably.
That's total SpongeBob. Back it off.
Twice now, probably, and 3 times to the cool places, right, Kelly? What? We haven't even been to the Chippy yet. That's the coolest place of all. Come on, you two. I'm famished.
I'm gonna correct you right there. That should be the hottest place of all. Cool chips are no fun.
Yeah, and they have to get it up to a certain temperature to do the frying. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Have you guys been shopping all this time? Did you buy anything?
Yes, shopping. I don't think we've bought anything yet. Although we're still looking for some nice tennis shoes. Just have a look at ours and you'll see why.
I keep slipping in and out of my accent.
Both Kelly and Grace are wearing worn sneakers. They both have rather small feet. We've just come from the book sale. Someone stole a book there. Have you seen anyone else who was at that sale?
No.
Excuse me.
No, I don't think so. We've been with Nigel ever since he picked us up outside the Phaeton Club.
Oh my god, this mic stand. I gotta fix this. Hang on. I've kicked it like 10 times already. Okay, that should be better.
That's right, and you haven't even let me stop to have a bite to eat yet. Come on, let's pop by that Chippy.
Griff John said he was coming here to watch the match. If he can prove he's been here all along, we can remove him from our list of suspects. Uh-oh, the stadium is really crowded. It's hopeless to try to find anyone. Griff could well be here amongst all these people. We have no way of proving whether he is or isn't. That's the whole clue? Okay.
Wow.
I still think it's Rebecca. Griff's feet are too big.
Nigel shows up.
You know what I can do? I can take off all my clothes and run around on the pitch screaming, Griff, Griff, Griff.
Alright. Well, we can't prove or disprove him based on the cricket match, but we can disprove him based on his foot size.
Wait, we're already solving?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Alright. I don't know what's happening. I just read stuff.
Rebecca Locke.
Okay. I was going to say, we need a procedure for these. How are we... That's something I was going to talk to you about. I watched part of the last stream, and it's like, sometimes we read these, sometimes we flip through them.
I think it's like, if it's obvious, we read through it, but sometimes we need a little more time to think. But we always read the clues, I think, that we are going to select. And here's one right now. Rebecca Locke said she had to leave the book sale to help her dad out at the shop on Quaint Street.
Yeah.
That's where we found the Frankenstein mask.
Yep.
Gordon thinks that Rebecca was interested in the Frankenstein book.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the other two clues here are about Griff, who we've ruled out.
Griff Johns has very big feet.
All right, that's about the book.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Sneed said that a young lady requested all the books. Just remember, Dorothea suspected it was real, but
Yeah.
our suspect wanted to make sure it was real before going through with the crime. The rest of these are about Mary Shelley on this page, so that would be irrelevant.
Uh, the first one. I don't think it's the first one.
We only have two clues. The thief would have had to stop by the library.
Yep. Yep. Wait, hold up. The thief left behind a muddy sneaker print.
That might be it, but we only get one more clue.
Yeah. That one says they both have rather small feet.
A costume shop on Quaint Street carries Frankenstein masks. That might be it. That might be the last clue. All right, yeah.
There we go. We didn't need the feet thing.
Are
anyway.
we in agreement that?
Feet.
Are we in agreement that it's Rebecca?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Wasn't Kelly the tennis star who did the fake ghost thing the last time?
Was that her?
It may be. We can go back to the scrapbook later if we care
the
about
fake what thing you talking about?
The fake ghost all the way back in the first episode.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about the bus for some reason.
Was Kelly the ghost or was Kelly the victim of the ghost? I don't remember.
Nah, man.
Anyway, you got it. Rebecca Locke was the person behind the Frankenstein mask. We knew that whoever boldly stole the book out from under P.C. Bardbrook's nose knew exactly what they were looking for. They grabbed the valuable book right out of Dorothea's pile. Since we knew that only 4 people had the opportunity to see where the book was, leave the Phaeton Club, then come back in disguise to steal it, we were able to use the process of elimination to figure out who the best suspect was. When we first met Dorothea at the Phaeton Club, no one knew that the Frankenstein book was valuable, but Dorothea suspected that it might be, and so did someone else. We took off for the British Library and learned that the Frankenstein book was actually one of the first copies ever printed. But someone else had learned that too. Mr. Sneed told us that the books we needed had already been looked at by a young lady. When we got
Mr. Sneed had her murdered.
When we got back to the Phaeton Club, Dorothea told us about the theft, and we found a muddy footprint that the thief left behind. The print was made by a small sneaker. We knew that Kelly and Rebecca, at least, were both wearing sneakers today, but when we caught up with Kelly, it turned out that she and Grace both had ironclad alibis. They had been shopping with Nigel since they left the book sale. We could eliminate Griff Johns too because he has very big feet and also couldn't have been the young lady that Mr. Sneed mentioned. That leaves only one suspect who had the opportunity to steal the book and also matched up with the clues we'd collected, Rebecca Locke.
Yep, we used the process of elimination and eliminated all over that case. I'm proud of us. Rare Frankenstein book recovered. The theft of a seemingly worthless old book was foiled today by Eagle-Eye detectives Uncle Evie and Jake Eagle. Pardon me. The book is actually a first edition of the classic story Frankenstein, Jake said. The young person who stole the valuable copy from the book sale has been released to her parents by the police. By unanimous agreement, the book has been turned over for auction to collectors, and all proceeds will benefit London's Learning to Read Society. Well, good.
All right.
Happy endings for everyone.
Now we have the case of the pirate prank. We get to deal with pirates now.
It was a prank. It was a pirate prank. It was a prank. He cut off his hand with a blade.
Help, Jake. I've been kidnapped by pirates. They demand that you and Uncle come down to the Cutty Sock immediately to discuss ransom. Oh boy, I love scotch.
What? Aunt Miranda?
I
Hello?
think I have some. I think I have some Cutty
Wow,
Sark.
how weird. She's been cut off. Pirates on the Cutty Sark? What do you think's going on? Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's go.
Yep. Here we come to save the day. We'll make sure crime will never pay. So let the bus driver trumpet play. I couldn't make that work, sorry.
The Cutty Sark is a fabulous old sailing ship now permanently moored in Greenwich. To get to the ship, you take the bus a few miles east of London to Greenwich on the Thames River. Whoa, there really are pirates here. What on earth is going on?
I don't know. Let's look at their booty.
Aunt M, are you okay?
A joke there. That's funny there.
Yes, of course. Sorry about the scary phone call, but it's part of the rules that the kidnap victim has to get the game going.
Rules? Game? What are you talking about, Aunt M? Have you been kidnapped or what?
In a matter of speaking, yes, but it's for a good cause.
Oh no, they've brainwashed you.
What rubbish! I'm perfectly fine. This pirate crew is really just a gang of Bond Street bankers dressed up for the Buccaneer Bash. Each year they kidnap a well-known Londoner and hold him or her for ransom. It's actually quite an honor, although I'm not sure my editor will think so if I don't finish my story on modern-day piracy. I've had appointments today at the Old Vic, Covent Garden, the British Museum, and Quaint Street. With Quincy, the Quaint Street Kitty. You see, I overheard something very interesting at Scotland Yard the other day, and I need to...
That's enough chattering with the prisoner swabbies. You'd have to solve our pirate puzzle before you can chat with her again.
Maybe we can help Aunt Miranda with her piracy story while we solve the Buccaneers puzzle. Then we can come back and find out what Aunt Miranda overheard. Let's check out the places where she planned to go and keep our eyes open for pirates.
Hey, where's the best place to find buccaneers? On the sides of your bucking head. Yeah, there.
Avast there, me hearties. I've captured your fair Aunt Miranda, and before you have her back again, you'll have to study pirate ways. Like the pirate alphabet. A. R. I. That's really all we've got. If you want your aunt back again with Greenbeard's booty, you'll have to prove your pirate know-how by answering 4 questions with pirate terms. Aye. What's the favorite pirate drink? What name do pirates have for the bottom of the sea? Where do pirates toss their enemies? And what does a pirate call a person who lives on shore?
Don't click yet. I want to try and answer these right
Actually,
now.
I know all the answers, but it really does spoil the rest of the mystery to just do the answers here.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Trust me, it
But I know
does.
these.
It does, because there's actually a 5th riddle that you get when you put all the first letters in a certain order. So let's save these pirate terminologies for when we're actually doing the riddle, because otherwise we spoil the whole mystery right here on the first page, and then it's just a bunch of mindless clicking and reading.
Once you've found the answers to all 4, I'll put you to the pirate test.
Sounds like a scavenger hunt, but where do we begin?
By searching for other pirates, of course. Now off with you before I make you walk the plank.
Okay, this is the first guy. I see I've already forgot what I did for him. This is...
Yo, homie, mateys, what would your landlubbers be wanting with the pirate vessel of Dread Captain Greenbeard?
I'll just make him sound...
Yell yourself, pirate dude. What gives? Why did you guys nab my Aunt Miranda?
Yar. Tasha Yar from Star Trek The Next Generation. For the only reason a pirate knows, laddie. For the loot. You'll have her back when you can board our pirate vessel yourself with the password.
And the password is the 5th of the 4 pirate riddles. So, let's...
Actually, no, it's password with a capital P and a 4 for the A is what it is. Oh, and a 0 for the O.
Treasure chest coin shop. That must be where Aunt Miranda was heading. It sounds pretty piratey, right? I wonder if they'll have doubloons here.
Hey, it's Quincy, the quaint street kitty. Miss Sadi. Miss Sadi.
She's new.
I'd be glad to show you. Yeah. I'd be glad to show you pirate coins if there really were such a thing. Why is she Irish? She's not Irish. Pirates don't make their own money. They stole money from others. Pirates stole coins from many different countries because many of them would attack whatever ships they came across. You're not Jamaican either, but I'm going with it. Mm. Whatever they didn't fancy, they threw overboard, along with anyone who tried to oppose them. Sometimes they made people walk the plank, go out on a long plank, and eventually fall overboard.
Overboard? That must be where pirates throw their enemies. But Miss Sadi, what about the pirate doubloons that you always hear about?
No, Overboard was a very bad movie with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Ah, doubloons. Those were originally Spanish coins. I'm sure they were a favorite of pirates, though, because the Spanish treasure ships were always loaded with gold from conquered territories in the Americas. The coins I have here are from all over the world. Some of them are terribly ancient and valuable, like these gold coins from ancient Greece, and these Roman coins from the time of the Emperor Augustus. Augustus Gloop. Coin collecting is a marvelous pastime. Every time I find a new coin, it's like this Roman bronze piece from Constantine the Great's reign. I love to imagine who might have carried it and what he or she might have bought with it over 1,500 years ago. That's a long time. Jimmy Creeves?
He's new.
Okay,
and
saying...
he's the suspect for the actual mystery here.
Okay.
A lot of the pirate riddles thing, that's an overhead to get back with Aunt Miranda and get the actual mystery, but he's a suspect in the actual mystery.
Yeah, he's approaching us by saying psst, so he's automatically sus. I'm gonna make him Jimmy Cagney. You two music fans?
Sure, Jennifer's the real music freak in the family, but I like most stuff.
Well, right here, I've got the latest and the greatest, see? Nothing but the best from Jimmy Creeves. You know Rabbit Hedgehog? Well, I've got the newest album right here for only £2. Yeah, see? Interested? Yeah.
£2? That's really cheap. I paid £6 for the last album I bought in the store. That's about $9 in American money. Jimmy Creeves is selling cassette tapes out of his suitcase. The covers of the cassettes are handwritten. They say Rabbit Hedgehog, Fangs for the Memories.
Nowadays it would be CDs.
Sorry, Jimmy. I'm, how does Nigel say it? Skint. I just blew my last pound on the Turkish Delight for Jen. I'm broke. Miss Sadi's coins look very, very old. Some are stamped with faces and words. Some of the older ones are from the Roman Empire. They are made of bronze or silver and are stamped with the faces and names of Roman emperors.
Does that say Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
Oh, okay.
These are really cool. I'd love to have a coin collection like this. We're going to go to the Old Vic.
The Old Vic. A place for prestidigitation and pleasure.
Looks like they're setting up for a play here. I wonder what that has to do with pirates.
Prestidigitation, pleasure, and pirate plays. Peace. Have we seen him before?
We may have in those theater ones in the beginning, but if we have, it's been a few weeks.
All right, let's see what I do here.
Ah, Jake, just in time.
Somebody did something. What does it say? You can't read it. It went away. Whoever it was that did a thing, I think that was a subscription. Thank you. You rock. And there's a cat by my feet. I gotta figure out how to do that better. I think I just need to make the element bigger so I can read the thing. Anyway. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Hello to you as well. Yeah, I'm really off today. It was a hectic week, and it's hard for me to remember week to week what I do with these voices, and I'm making this up as I go. It'll be fine.
Ah, Jake, just in time. Do you and Uncle have a mo to roll up your sleeves and grab a hammer? We're building the set for tomorrow night's musical, a little Gilbert and Sullivan, don't you know?
Sorry, Jeff, but we're kind of under the gun today, time-wise. Who are Gilbert and Sullivan?
In my chat, does he look Is it just me, or does this Jeff look like Mr. Beast? Ask him if he has any candy bars or Lunchables.
Just one of the greatest dramatic writing and composing teams ever. William Gilbert wrote the words, and Arthur Sullivan composed the music to 13 hilarious comic operas in the late 1800s.
I'm drifting into Matt Berry with him. I don't want to do that.
Their musicals are terribly funny and silly. The plots are always as twisty as a corkscrew, and Gilbert's silly rhymes make them a lark to sing. They make fun of everyone from toffee-nosed snobs to starry-eyed lovers. Tonight's performance is The Pirates of Penzance, one of my favorites. I'm playing the lead, Frederick, the pirate apprentice.
Pirates. Aha.
The Pirate Apprentice. You're fired. R. That was terrible.
No, pirates. Yo-ho, you landlubber.
Landlubber? Does that mean someone who stays on shore instead of going out to sea?
Exactly. Pirates didn't think much of people who'd never stepped onto a boat and gotten their sea legs. It's rather a pirate insult to call someone a landlubber.
A program for tonight's performance gives a summary of the Gilbert and Sullivan musical, The Pirates of Penzance. This play seems...
Go ahead and keep on with this. I got to give Salem a treat. He's a good boy, and he needs a treat.
This play seems really funny in a silly kind of way. It's full of ridiculous pirates and foolish soldiers who get into all sorts of scrapes trying to be honorable or dishonorable. I bet this would be a blast to watch. We'll have to head back here for opening night. The notes in the back of the program give a short list of each actor's appearance. In earlier plays, Jeff Moss has played the title role in Bluebeard, Puck in Midsummer Night's Dream, and a London Bobby in What's All This Then? Alright, now we're going to go out to Covent Garden. Aunt Miranda,
I'm back just in time for the bus scene.
Aunt Miranda had an appointment here at Covent Garden, but what could anything here have to do with piracy?
Oh, Jake, I was expecting your aunt today, not you and Uncle.
Oh, that's funny.
Miranda was going to interview me about the problem Cat's Feet has been having with piracy lately.
You too? Aunt Miranda's late because she's been kidnapped by pirates on the Cutty Sark.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's talking about a different kind of pirate.
Oh, the Bond Street Buccaneers are at it again. What fun! No, the pirates that are giving me so much trouble aren't the grog-swilling, cutlass-waving type at all.
What
The
swilling?
swarthy, strong men. Grog, you know, the pirate drink. Watered down rum, isn't it?
Oh, no, it is not.
In the movies, all the pirates swill the stuff.
It may have actually been, but Navy grog is one of my favorite tiki drinks. There's a bunch of different versions of it. It's really good, and it is not weak.
Anyway, the pirates I'm worried about are real crooks. You see, Cat's Feet Music Agency owns the rights to the music produced by 3 bands. Diff Upper Lip, Rabid Hedgehog, and Tone Deaf.
Tone deaf.
Wasn't one of them Astrid's band, but I can't remember which one.
Oh, what's that? Sorry.
Wasn't one of those bands Astrid's band, although I can't remember which one.
It wasn't Tone Deaf. It was one of the other two.
Tone Deaf was the rival band who stole their book, right?
That's right. I think so. Yeah. Anyway,
We put a lot of money into recording the songs, making the albums, and marketing the bands. When someone buys one of our band's albums, some of that dosh gets back to us, and we pass on some more of it to the bands themselves. The rest we spend on cocaine. If someone makes a copy of a tape we've made and sells that, we don't get any money from it, and the band doesn't get anything either. All that hard work they've put in, and some rotten thief gets all the cash. Sometimes they get so discouraged, they just stop making music. It's not just music either, Jake. These will pirate videotapes, even computer programs. Sometimes they'll even load those computer programs onto web browser interfaces so that people on Twitch can use them without paying anything. Dastardly. Anytime they make an illegal copy like that, it's stealing.
On the cover of Rabbit Hedgehog's new album, a hedgehog with foaming fangs is playing a bass guitar. It's titled Fangs for the Memories. The bottom right-hand corner of the album has the Cat's Feet Music Agency logo on it, And the words, all rights reserved.
Sonic the Hedge Wolf. That's what that is.
And now we'll go to the British Museum and get the last few clues we need, and then go
You know,
back to
seeing
solve the pirate riddle.
seeing that map makes me think. I wonder what Google Maps would have looked like in 256 color VGA.
The special
It's probably
exhibit sign
simplified.
outside the special exhibit sign outside said, "The Pirate Treasure of the Fearbringer." That must be what Aunt Miranda was coming to check out.
No, I wanted to see the beer bringer. I'm quite thirsty, you see.
Wow, look at all that gold. It must be worth millions.
His name's Smedley. The special exhibit from Florida is one of the most valuable we've ever had at the museum. It's a pirate treasure rescued from the galleon Fearbringer, which was sunk off the coast of Florida in 1790. There's 400 bars of solid gold and 700 bars of silver, all of it over 200 years old.
Wow. Why don't you have bunches of guys around with machine guns and stuff to guard it? Aren't you afraid it'll get stolen? These bars aren't even in cases. Anyone could just pick one up and sneak off with it.
Well, we're England, you see. We're not like you Americans. And whom exactly do you think would be able to do that? King Kong? Each of these bars weighs hundreds of pounds. A thief would have to break in here with a tank to haul any of it out. Besides, as you know, my security people search everyone entering the British Museum. No one would be able to bring a firearm through the doors. The bars are quite safe. And they have drink specials. Brent Hunter.
He's new. He's new.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who he is. He looks like sort of the James Cameron type going around and.
And didn't the other guy say the exhibit was from Florida? So this guy might be Southern American.
Maybe.
If he's the treasure guy, it's talking about his salvage team.
Yep. We'll say he's Indiana Jones. I don't do a very good Indiana Jones. I don't know. We'll see. Normally, I just try to sound like I'm drunk, and that usually passes. My salvage teams and I picked this pirate treasure right out of Davy Jones' locker on the bottom of the seafloor itself.
Davy Jones' locker. That must be what the pirates call the bottom of the sea. I'll stick that in our notebook.
It belongs in a museum. It took us years using old maps, new charts, and special sonar equipment to find the wreck. Then we spent years more using underwater sand blowers, cranes, and scuba teams to dig out the treasure. A lot of times dive teams like ours spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time trying to salvage old wrecks, only to find them full of nothing but rotten wood and rusty nails. I'm too gravelly. I think that's what I need to listen to Harrison Ford again. But we were lucky this time. The stories of the Fearbringer, laden with a fortune in gold, were true. Our hard work paid off. Treasure hunting's never as easy as it looks in the movies, you know.
The gold bars are stacked in piles on a platform on the museum floor. The sign reads, "Solid gold ingots from the wreck of the Fearbringer, a pirate vessel downed off the Florida coast." These bars were originally made by the Spanish conquistadors in Mexico to be sent back to Spain, but the pirate ship Fearbringer plundered the Spanish treasure ship and stole all the gold. According to records of the time, shortly after the Spanish ship was robbed, a hurricane hit the southeast coast of Florida, and the Fearbringer was never heard from again. Brent Hunter's salvage crew proved theories that the pirate ship was lost in the storm. So, now that we've visited all the places, we have to go back and answer the pirate riddle. And here's where we can spoil the riddle now, finally.
Cutty Sark. I'm fairly certain I do have some Cutty Sark here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Otherwise, I would dig for it.
Back again, you mean?
Wait, let's see. Let's make the other guy generic pirate. Generic pirate. We'll make him the generic pirate, and make this guy. I don't know if I'm up for Mr. Krabs or not. Oh.
Back again, me hearties? Are you ready to solve our pirate puzzle? Are you ready, kids?
I think so, Captain Greenbeard. We have figured out all of the riddles you asked us.
All right, let's hear the answers. What does a pirate call the bottom of the sea?
Let me check the notebook here. That's it, Davy Jones' locker.
Well done, matey. And what do we pirates drink?
Grog, Captain.
Hey, right again, you lucky swab. And what does a pirate call a man who lives ashore?
Let me see. A landlubber.
No, I'm sorry, it's Land Rover. It's like the car, you see. Right again. And finally, where do pirates throw their enemies?
Overboard, of course.
Well, shiver me timbers and punch me in the nose. You've gotten all the clues you need to solve the pirate puzzle and find that password that'll get you aboard my ship. Get the password right, and the fair Miranda's free to go, along with a hunk of pirate treasure to be handed over the British Children's Fund. All you need to do is take the first letter of each word or phrase and unscramble the thing that pirates love the most.
And of course...
Lego.
No, gold.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say log D,
No, gold.
because log D is like a thing on Unix
It's
systems that keeps
gold!
track of that
It's
system events.
gold. It's gold.
Actually, it's system D.
Yar, right again. Gold is what we love the most, and gold be the password that gets your Aunt Miranda back. And may I just add that
We found a typo. Add that was jolly good fun. All right.
it was jolly good fun playing pirate with a lot of ya. Hope to see you again next year.
Can't remember how he laughs. Oh crap. I don't remember how. I gotta watch SpongeBob again. Wow.
Phew. Now, as I was saying, Jake, I overheard that Scotland Yard's having an all-out manhunt for a pirate. I didn't get the details, but I hope to be there when they catch who they're looking for. Do you and Uncle think you can help me find out who they're after?
Absolutely, Aunt Em. While you've been tied up here, we've been running around London picking up clues. Our notebook is full of clues. Well, are we ready to tell Aunt Miranda who Scotland Yard is after? Yes, we are.
Kinky. Yes, let's. All right. So Bond Street Buccaneers. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Aunt Miranda's covering a story on piracy. Yeah,
This first page is irrelevant.
Yeah, it's all duds. Yeah. Denver, I must tell Captain Greenbeard.
We have our first relevant clue on this page here. Modern day pirates are thieves who make illegal copies of music, movies, or computer programs and sell them without giving money to the people who made them.
That one's relevant?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was thinking something else. No acting trip.
No, this is all about the stuff at the theater.
This looks like, nah. It's a silly, fun musical.
Yeah, this is about pirates of old. It's also irrelevant.
Your pendants production has no honor.
Jimmy Creebs, right here.
Yeah, here we go.
The cassette labels are handwritten. They're handwritten. Here's talking about pirate shipwrecks.
Manhunt for a pirate, that last one. Well, no, is that a clue or is it...
Well, I think that's just background.
Statement? Yeah, I think so too.
I think we really have what we need. It may tell us to pick one more clue, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's only two you've chosen, so. Oh wait, go back to the blue screen that you were just on a second ago.
It's the same as the red screen. It's just that we don't have clue solving on it.
Oh, okay. Hold on a sec before you change. Covering a story on piracy because of something she overheard. That matches up with the Scotland Yard doing a manhunt, I think, for the pirate. Maybe. I don't know.
So let's just go back and get the ones we already had.
Yeah. Yep, definitely that. Try that.
All right.
Yes, I actually had input on one, and it worked. Yay!
Now, technically speaking, Brent Hunter and Jeff Moss are also involved in modern day pirates, but they're different kinds of pirates.
Yeah, yeah, they're legal. They're piracy impersonators,
Yeah.
pirate
But
adjacent.
Jimmy Creeves is an actual pirate, even though he probably
Yeah,
never set foot on a boat. He looks like the type who would be afraid to go on a boat.
yeah, yeah. He doesn't have an eye patch even. That's a shame.
You got it.
You know,
The
you know
police
why
are.
they have eye patches?
Some of them have lost their eyes.
No, because a lot of pirates would wear eye patches. It had something to do with the light, like they would keep one eye in darkness, so that if they encountered sudden darkness or something like that, they could just flip it up and be able to see like at night with the other eye, something like that.
You got it. The police are after a real modern day pirate, not any of those cool swashbuckling types. It was that creep, Jimmy Creeves. Miss Drumright explained to us about today's pirates who illegally copy music or computer programs and then sell them without giving any money to the people that did all the work to make them. And this is exactly what Jimmy Creeves was up to when he tried to sell us those bogus tapes.
Bogus.
The pirates that Scotland Yard is looking for is a music pirate, Jimmy Creeves.
And now the scrapbook. Buccaneer prank on Bill's piracy ring. Internationally famous eagle-eyed detectives Uncle Evie and Jake Eagle yesterday led Scotland Yard to the leader of a music piracy ring. James Creeves had been selling illegal copies of record albums, explained Inspector Gage. He was selling the tapes out of a suitcase so he could elude our patrol bobbies. I swear I thought that said boobies. I've been awake too long. Creeves made the mistake of trying to sell his illegal wares to the young American sleuths while they were hunting down the clues to the annual Buccaneer Bash pirate puzzle. Uncle knew that Creeps tapes couldn't be the real thing. They were in handwritten boxes, said Jake Eagle. Making illegal copies of other people's work is a really creepy way of stealing. Thus endeth the case.
And look, here's a picture of the cave from the last episode, saying that's where they hid
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
pirate
where they hid the
goods.
stash of rabbit hedgehogs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's do. I think I can do one more before we need a break.
Yeah, I think we can. We're getting through these in about 30, 35 minutes. This should be about right. That'll work out good. Because I really need
Alright.
another water. I drank my Red Bull and I drank the water, so.
So, case of the Roman ruins.
The case of the Roman ruins.
Actually,
Jake, we're just.
actually,
Yes.
before we get totally off the subject of pirates, my splash
Yes.
screen is pirate inspired. I don't know if you
Oh.
knew that.
Yeah, yeah, no, you've got the little, what were they called? The little cards?
The ship cards. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, what were they called?
the old pirates pocket model game. I think it was called. Out
Those
of
were
print.
really cool.
Out of print for many years already. But
Yeah, and they did the Star Wars version of that, and
Yeah.
I ended up just a brief tangent. I ended up grabbing like God, I got like 10 packs of them for like $1 each or something, and gave them away to people and made little Star Wars
yeah,
ships.
my splash
pretty-
screen. My splash screen is the 6 promo the 10 master junk style, which were some of the coolest promos they did. One of
Yeah.
them is one of only 2 glow in the dark ships in the game.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, it's neat to assemble them. They're on little credit card size pieces of like a plasticky sort of paper or cardboard, and you punch them out and fold
It's
them up
not
into
cardboard,
ships.
it's
Pretty neat.
plastic.
Is it just straight plastic?
Yeah.
Okay, either way.
Jake, I've just had a call from Chief Warder Hargreaves. There's been some trouble at an archaeological site at the Tower of London.
What happened, Andem?
Well, from what Mr. Hargreaves, let's see, she would drop the H. From what Mr. Hargreaves says, it looks like one of the people excavating the site has stolen some of the valuable artifacts right from under the noses of the guards.
Wow, let's get over there and see if we can help the Beefeaters corner the culprit.
The Beefeaters. It's all the beef eaters. They eat the beef eaters. They like to eat egg beaters, which are the fake eggs that you can buy.
Look! They're excavating right here in the middle of the tower grounds. I wonder what they're looking for. Greaves is new. Hargreaves
Yeah.
we've met before.
So we got Greaves and Hargreaves. Yeah, Hargreaves. I remember him. Uh, for our Canadian friends, this guy's gonna be red green. Greaves green. Okay.
I've been supervising the excavation site since it began on Monday. All three of the archaeologists left at 5 p.m. yesterday as usual. But when I went over the inventory last night, I noticed some of the rare gold coins we found were missing. My nephew Harold was no help at all. They were uncovered around 2 p.m. yesterday, and all the archaeologists were terribly excited. I remember one of them said the coins date back to the very beginning of the Roman rule of Britain. But then he realized he was actually thinking about his mother in law.
The Romans used to rule Britain? You mean like the Caesars and those guys?
Ah, the very same. You can pop by the British Museum's library to read up on that if you like. The archaeologists are digging up these artifacts so we can learn more about the early days of Romans in Britain. I didn't get a chance to see the coins myself when they were found, but when I made a quick check of the inventory last night, I saw Mr. Smythe had written coins worth 100 denaril on his find list. We only have 4 coins.
Denarii, that's one of the Roman words for coins.
Okay. It looked like L on my screen.
So they have coins worth 100 denarii, but they have 4 coins.
That's got to be related to dinar. There's a currency now called dinar somewhere. I can't remember where.
And there's a dinero as well, or at least there was before it was
Yeah.
replaced by the euro.
Yeah. Let's see. Hargreaves. I gotta hear him in my head.
Thanks for coming, Drake. I knew I could count on you and Uncle to help out. If word got out about this theft, it'd be very embarrassing for all of us here at the tower. We try to be very selective about whom we allow to excavate, well, dig up, the historical areas at the tower. All of our archaeologists are world-famous experts. Some of them are celebrities in the field. We spared no expense in putting them up. They're staying at the Ritz Hotel. And with a name like Ritz, you know it's expensive. I can't believe that one of them would stoop so low as to steal any of the coins found at the site. But I suppose the lure of the ancient gold was just too much. I only hope this can be taken care of before I'm forced to alert Scotland Yard. Those guys are jacks.
The excavation site is near an old ruined wall in the middle of the fortress. The sign on the wall states that it was once part of the city wall that surrounded the Roman city of Londinium. The 4 gold coins are stamped with a profile of a Roman emperor.
Does that say Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Wow, those coins are heavy. They must be made of solid gold.
Let's see what's missing.
That's right, Jake. That's part of why they're so very valuable. Kind of like my nephew Harold.
The writing around the edge of each coin includes the words Chuck E. Cheese. I'm kidding. It says Claude Caesar.
You have happied my heart. Thank you.
Claude? Weird. I wonder what that stands for. Well, to be fair, Claude Caesar and Chuck E. Cheese have the same initials.
Oh, wait. We have to do something very quickly. I want you to just say the words, was Mr. Greaves? Okay, good day, Mr. Greaves. Just say that.
Good day, Mr. Greaves.
Alrighty then. Keep your stick on the ice. Remember, we're all in this together.
You never watched Red Green, have you?
No.
It's a Canadian show. It's really good.
Alright, we're
It's
at
been
the
around
Ritz
a
Hotel
long
where
time.
they're staying. Mr. Hargreaves said that the 3 archaeologists were staying here. Let's see if the receptionist can tell us where they are.
Mr. Smythe. Dash it, I despise the fact that this day's being wasted. I should be over at the tower digging up artifacts, not here at the hotel sitting on me hands.
Well, I keep saying H's. You don't say hard H's in British. Or English, or whatever.
What on earth would possess him to stop the digging now? I say some treachery must be afoot. It's that rascal Chin, no doubt. Chin. Perhaps he's found a way to get Bentley and I booted from the project. That way he'd be able to take all the credit for the find himself. Chin. And what a find it is! Just yesterday we uncovered a cache of gold coins worth 100 denarii. That's terribly valuable in itself, but being from the time of one of the earliest Roman invasions makes them even more important. I myself am planning to publish a paper on the find, and I'm not going to let some prank of Chin's stop me. Chin.
Well, what makes you think Mr. Chin pulled some kind of trick?
Oh, the man's impossible. I've had dealings with him before. Last year we were excavating a site in Egypt when one of our workers fell ill. Chin gave an interview to the press claiming that the curse of the mummy had struck. I believe that man would do anything to get his name in the papers. And then he shot me.
So here's the Ritz receptionist. We've seen him before.
Yeah, what did I do for him? I don't know, I'll just make him C-3PO or something.
Yes, Mr. Chin, Mr. Bentley, and Mr. Smythe are all guests of ours. Their stays, however, are being paid for by Her Majesty and the Queen through the Tower of London. Now, let's see. I believe the gentleman seated just over there is Mr. Smythe. And Mr. Bentley informed me that he would be giving a lecture at the British Museum this afternoon. I'll just check my log and see if... Yes, Mr. Chin left a note that says he'll be exploring Stonehenge today. He left for Victoria Station just over an hour ago.
Not the best Anthony Daniels, but it's fine. We're
Let's go to the
11:30 on a
British
Friday.
Museum.
It's fine. Boom, 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 boom. That's the dubstep mix of the bus sounds.
Uncle Basil's pal, Mr. Sneed, knows everything about everything. He'll be able to bring us up to speed on the Romans in Britain.
Or the Britons in Romani.
Deepwater Hargreaves just rang up to warn me that you two would be skulking about. I'm much too busy unpacking our newest encyclopedias to look up information for you. But you're welcome to look through the books on Rome I pulled out for you. You might want to step into the Greco-Roman exhibit at the museum, too. I hear that an expert on ancient Rome is lecturing there today. It's fascinating to think that Britain was once part of the magnificent Roman Empire. Even today, you can see evidence of the Roman influence. Our language and alphabet are closely related to Latin, the language of the ancient Romans. Many of the roadways we use today were once Roman road. Even the number system used on the back of this encyclopedia set is Roman.
I've seen letters like that at the end of movies and stuff. I always wondered, what do they mean?
That one means Iv.
These are Roman numerals. The Romans wrote down numbers using letters I, V, X, C, and so forth. I stood for 1, V for 5, X for 10, and C for 100. The order of the letters is important. For example, X equals 10, but IX equals 9. 1 before 10. XI equals 11. 1 after 10.
This encyclopedia volume is marked IV. What's that?
IV must stand for 1 subtracted from 5. 4. The Roman numerals say this is volume number 4. The voyage home.
Here's the stack of books Mr. Sneed left for us. Which one of these should we look through for information about Romans in Britain? World history? I'm going with world history, unless you object.
Yep. Do it.
That's right. We'll get the scoop on the Roman invasion from the world history book. Before the Romans conquered Britain, the forests and hills of England were populated by tribes of Iron Age peoples who were ruled by individual kings. The first serious Roman expeditions to Britain were led by Julius Caesar in 55 BC, but it was not until nearly 100 years later, in 43 AD, that the true Roman occupation began. Roman forces under the leadership of the Emperor Claudius faced fierce opposition from the British tribes. A revolt led by Boadicea, queen of the Iceni tribe, nearly forced the Romans to leave Britain. Didn't we see her in one previous mystery?
Yeah, we did. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, we saw her.
In defense, the Romans built forts and walls around many of their towns, traces of which can still be seen today. The Roman Emperor Hadrian even ordered a wall to be built clear across England. Roman troops
Adrian!
Roman
Right.
troops built the wall to keep northern tribes from coming down into southern England. The wall still stands and is called Hadrian's Wall. The organization and advanced strategies of the Roman legions eventually overthrew the British tribes, who were forced to stop fighting during part of every year in order to tend their crops. The Roman occupation of Britain continued until approximately 409 AD, about 350 years, when the weakness of the Roman government caused its empire to decay. This book on rare coins should be able to tell us a little bit about the coins found at the tower. Ancient Roman coins, including those from the time of the Emperor Claudius, can be very valuable because of their age and rarity. Roman coins came in several denominations or values. The most valuable of these coins were the gold aureus. The plural of the word aureus is aurii. Aurii from the time of Claudius can range in value from 3,000 to 26,000 pounds, depending on their condition. Wow, 26,000 pounds? That's about $40,000. A silver coin called a denarius from the time of Claudius can also be quite valuable. One denarius can be worth up to 2,000 pounds. The plural of the word denarius is denarii. In Roman times, one gold aureus was worth 25 silver denarii. 4 gold aurii would be worth 100 silver denarii.
And the first album and first pressing from Aureus Speedwagon is probably worth about $50.
Both aurii and denarii minted under the Emperor Claudius were stamped with his portrait and the phrase Claude Caesar, an abbreviation of the Roman spelling of Claudius Caesar. Okay, so maybe there wasn't a thief at all. If 4 coins are worth 100, it's possible that this could all be a misunderstanding because not everybody is as expert as they claim to be. Great idea. The museum has a whole section on the Romans. Let's see what we can find out there.
Yeah, go look up into that. I'm gonna take a nap.
These statues were collected from Greece and Rome. They're over 2,000 years old.
Mr. Bentley, the fresco itself shows a scene from the Greeks' battle with the Amazons. Note how perfectly the sculptor has carved each rippling muscle.
Fascinating, Mr. Bentley. Your knowledge about the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations boggles the mind.
Of course it does, Frescura. These details take years to learn, and a brilliant eye for art takes a lifetime to perfect. I feel confident in telling you that my understanding of ancient history is unmatched in our century.
I must say I'm impressed, but I recently read an article by a Mr. William Smythe that left me gasping. The man's a genius. His comments on the early days of Roman Britain had me entranced. Such insight.
Smythe? That bumbling booby? You must be joking. The man doesn't know his Apollo from his Dionysus. Why, his incompetence nearly put an end to a dig we had in Mexico. The fool forgot to file the necessary papers to get permission from the Mexican authorities, and we were nearly deported. Bah! In fact, I suspect he's somehow bungled this Roman dig at the Tower of London. It may be they postponed the excavation today because of some error of his.
Or they just wanted to take off and grab a pint.
A Roman emperor's bust, or head statue, is on display as part of the Roman art collection. The inscription reads Augustus Caesar.
That's Augustus Gloop.
Augustus, weird. I wonder how you're supposed to say that out loud.
Oh, with the V's. Avgevstevs. He was Norwegian.
My dear young man, the ancient Romans printed the letter U as V. That inscription reads Augustus Caesar, the name of one of Rome's greatest emperors. Roman emperors were also known as Caesars, you know. Or at least you should.
I get it. So the inscription on the coins we saw read Claude. That's what I said. That must be short for Claudius.
Yeah, you said it right.
Coins from the time of the Emperor Claudius. Now, some of those are very rare and special indeed. Only yesterday I myself uncovered 4 such coins, each of them worth thousands of pounds.
So I guess all that's left is to go to Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, where the children play. I don't know the rest of the words.
So we have to go to Salisbury. It seems kind of weird to me that Mr. Chin would just take off to Stonehenge all of a sudden. Maybe he's trying to skip town with the coins. The guidebook says that Stonehenge is near Salisbury. Stonehenge is supposed to be one of the most mysterious prehistoric ruins in the world.
And they have good steak down there.
The train to Salisbury will take us to Stonehenge. Let's see if we can catch up to Mr. Chin there.
In. The magnificent prehistoric monument of Stonehenge lies in Salisbury Plain in southeastern England. The great stones have stood here on the lovely plain for over 3,500 years. Theories abound as to their true use and construction. At the tone, the time will be 21:40 and 30 seconds. Boop. Welcome to BBC World Service.
This place is so cool. You can almost feel how old it is just by standing here. I wonder if that guy talking to the guard is Mr. Chin.
Let's find out. See, sometimes the name can give you a clue, but Mr. Chin is a very common Chinese name, and I don't think well, even if I knew how to do a Chinese accent, I probably wouldn't try to pull it off because that might look kind of racist. So, you know who he makes me think of just in visually? Do you remember the show Lost? The guy from the Dharma
I've never
Institute.
actually watched. I never actually watched
great.
Lost, but you can do them if you
Great show.
want.
Great show. I'm trying to remember what he sounded like. Yes, I am Mr. Chin. I was honored to be invited by the British government to take part in excavating the ruins of the Roman city wall at the Tower of London. I must confess, the opportunity was tempting enough to convince me to work with that fraud John Bentley once again.
Mr. Bentley, why do you call him a fraud?
Have you spoken to the man? He's an idiot. It does not speak well of a man for him to speak ill of his fellows, but I'll do it anyway. But I will not hide the fact that I believe John Bentley's work to be sloppy and careless. We once worked side by side on a dig in Crete, and his carelessness lost us our funding. He kept very sloppy notes on the inventory, until no one was sure what had actually been uncovered.
Sloppy notes on the inventory, that's what we're going for here.
Mm-hmm. But the Roman ruins here in England are some of the most interesting in the world to me. They're remnants of one of the farthest corners of the great Roman Empire. England was the most distant outpost of Rome's imperial colonies. When we compare what we find here to ruins back in Italy, we can see if life was different for the Romans stationed in Britain. When work was called off for today, I took advantage of the holiday to... The holiday. Actually, it depends on where he's from, I think, if they drop the H. Anyway, I took advantage of the holiday to explore some of England's other interesting sites. Having read about Stonehenge in ancient Roman writings, I could not resist the chance to see the famed standing stones. Something happened at Stonehenge just recently, like a month or so ago. One of the stones fell down or something. I can't remember what the deal was with that. And Mr. Becker.
He's new.
Yeah.
Mr. Chin's one of the most interesting visitors we've had in these parts in ages. He certainly knows his ancient history.
I don't know why I'm giving him this voice.
We've been having a good long chat about the Romans and what their impressions of the British must have been all those centuries ago. I always heard the Romans thought Britain was a wild place full of magic and mystery. They were none too keen to meddle with us at first. The early British were savage men from the forest, who must have seemed exceedingly strange to the civilized types from Rome. There was one tribe I heard tell of, called the Pits. That must have scared the Romans something fierce.
I think those were the blue guys.
Yep. They were wild men from the north, and when it came time for battle, they covered their bodies with a strange blue paint from a plant called woad. That must have given those Roman soldiers quite a fright. They looked at him and all went, whoa.
Mr. Chin's briefcase is open on the grass beside him. The briefcase contains several books that appear to be written in Chinese and a small velvet bag.
I'm going to go to Baskin-Robbins.
The
and
bag
order
is a
Lucky
little
Woad.
bit sus, but I I don't think. I think it was an accounting error. I don't think anyone actually stole stuff. Let's go
Yeah,
back
it's
to.
sloppy record keeping by Bentley or
All
whatever
right.
his name is.
Have you noticed? Smythe hates Chin, Chin hates Bentley, and Bentley hates Smythe.
It's a triumvirate of suck. Triad.
It's a triad of crap, is what it is.
We went back to the scene of the crime to do the solving, because that's fitting in a way.
Yep. Yeah, that's appropriate.
The inventory lists coins worth 100 denarii, but when the coins were counted, there were only 4. He did not see them when they were dug up.
Yeah, that speaks to record keeping. Anything, I think anything having to do with record keeping is a
Yeah.
thing here.
Each of the 4 coins are solid gold,
Eh.
and they're also stamped with. Well, that may or may not be a relevant clue, but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gold because that ties into the article we read at the library.
Okay. Roman numerals, plural of. No, we don't care about that. Gold coins called Ori. The third one, no, it just means they're worth a lot of money. Uh,
1 gold is worth 25 denarii. So far
Let's
we have 1
convert.
gold is worth 25 denarii. We have the inventory listing 100 denarii. There's only 4 coins.
He might have messed up the conversion rate or something.
Yeah, and each of the 4 coins are gold. It's an accounting error.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Blah blah. Coins from time. Yeah, none of these are relevant except the first one.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe even the accounting error isn't really relevant and to the clues, and we'll do the stamping of Claudius and then this matching clue down here which says coins from the time of Claudius are stamped with his portrait. So let's just
Okay, I see. So you're going in a different direction.
yeah.
I'm
just looking through these to just.
So we're not looking at Bentley's shoddy record keeping anymore.
We're not. We might go back to that, but I just picked all the clues that are about the coins themselves.
Okay.
We do have Mr. Bentley's careless record keeping is suspect as well, and Mr. Smythe said he has a cache of 100 denarii. But the 100 denarii clue was also stated in one of the clues we've already selected. Alright. If you think there's been a misunderstanding and the coins are safe, we pick the coins. I think it's all just nobody knows what they're talking about because we took the time to do the research.
Great, I'm surrounded by idiots.
These are supposed to be the world's greatest experts in archaeology. Isn't that what the guy said?
They have no idea. They can't archaeologize themselves out of paper mummy wrap. I don't know.
You got it. All the ruckus over the coins was for nothing. There were no coins missing at all.
Describe the ruckus.
All of the archaeologists at the site had something nasty to say about each other, but we saw all through all that to the plain facts. Mr. Smythe recorded the find of 100 denarii in the inventory. When we talked to him, he mentioned the find of a cache of coins worth 100 denarii. But Mr. Greaves only counted 4 coins. And when we talked to Mr. Bentley, he said they had uncovered 4 valuable Roman coins. The key to the mystery lay in the fact that the coins found at the tower were gold, not silver. In the library, we learned that 1 gold Roman coin, called an aureus, is worth 25 silver Roman coins, called denarii. 4 times 25 makes 100, so the 4 gold coins were worth 100 denarii, just as Mr. Smythe told us, and just as he wrote in his inventory. None of the coins were missing after all.
Yep.
But hey, think about it this way: if the people had known what they were talking about, they wouldn't have been given the day off, and we never would have gotten to go see Stonehenge.
This is very true, and it's totally worth a trip to Stonehenge. All right, here we go. Roman ruins found. American sleuths Uncle Evie and Jake Eagle, along with 3 world-renowned archaeologists, that's a typo, were toasted today at the Tower of London for their work uncovering a cache of treasures from the time of the Roman occupation of Britain. Uncle and Jake helped us greatly in a rather delicate manner, explained Chief Warder Hargreaves. They managed to see through the suspicions of all the adults around them and unravel the misunderstanding that had caused us to postpone the excavation. The artifacts retrieved from the site will be on display within the week at the British Museum's Roman Britain section. Thus
And here,
endeth the mystery.
and here would be a great place to take a break.
Yeah, this works out just about perfect. Because I desperately need a water.
I need water and a pee.
Yep, cool. I didn't need to hear that second part, but that's fine. Thank you for sharing that.
And I will go
so yeah,
ahead,
we're
I'll
good.
go back into my splash screen and mute everything from my stream.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same, and you're gonna keep. So how's this gonna work? You're gonna keep. I always get so confused on this. You're gonna keep my stream up in the corner, right? Or I'm watching my feed from you over.
you're go watch my feed, and I'm muting you, and I'm assuming you're muting too, and so
Yeah, yeah.
you're not gonna hear me talk, and I won't hear you talk. But what will happen?
Right.
What will happen is when I'm back and ready, I'll switch back to the game screen, and then unmute everything. And when I hear you start talking, that means we're back in.
All right, sounds good. So in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and go breaky, and everybody out there just hang tight, chill out for a minute, enjoy some weird commercials, and we will be right back. Probably, I'd guess 6-7 minutes, something like that.
And
Five to 7 minutes.
I think realistically, let's be realistic. I'm gonna call it and say let's do the next two mysteries and then leave the last two for the next episode, because I don't think I got four more in me tonight, and it would be really
right.
awkward to leave the first case book with one mystery left. Well, I mean, we can still see how we feel after the fifth, but I really don't think I
Yeah.
got four more in me.
Oh, I gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's see how we feel after. Let's go ahead and do the next two, and then see how we feel after that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'm down with that.
All right,
All right, cool.
I'm muting
All right,
for
so
break
we're gonna
now.
go on break. Be back here in 5 minutes or a little bit more. So please hang tight, and we shall return.
Five-ish. I need to
shortly.
stretch as well.
What's that?
I need to stretch as well.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we will see everybody just here in a bit. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I'll see you shortly. Hey, I'm back.
There we go. Okay. I saw the game screen up and I flipped over to it and nobody was there. And I was like, oh no, what's happened
I
to
probably
AJ?
forgot to switch back to the other window. On my end, I was switched back to the other window.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I did a
So,
thing when I went to break a minute ago. I forgot to mute the background music. So yeah,
so
we had two
well,
audios, but that's fine.
for
Nobody
for
cares.
for
It's all right.
once, for once, Q actually had precise timing. He came home from being over at Rick's for dinner. He literally walked through the door while we were on break and muted.
Really? Oh, that's perfect. Ha! Perfect timing.
And he brought me lunch for
Perfect.
tomorrow, which means as well stocked I was on food before, I now have even one more meal ration than I did before.
Nice. Perfect timing when I'm climbing. I'm a ramen acrobatic.
All
Lot of
right.
guts when he cuts girls move their butts. His name Jay here
All
to
right.
play. He
So can
must
you
be nuts.
confirm that you're seeing we're back in the game window
Yep, I am seeing the game window.
and you see the list?
I see the list. And weird trench coat guy on the side. That's yeah, strange. Interloping imposter. Let's do it. Actually, I'm going to pour out a little measure of something to drink here. Give me a moment.
So I think once I get the replacement phone, it's going to take me a bit of time to get it all set up properly. The big unknowns, of course, are the animal game and getting that running again, because no backups, and I'm gonna have to rebuild the in-game journal. That'll take a couple weeks, and $60 worth of pay-to-play features in the game that I had. So there's
Well,
that.
but those you should be able to re-download from Google Play, even though you're
Yeah.
on another device.
Yeah, there's no cloud backup for the game itself, but the Google Play account might recognize me as having purchased them before. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even if it doesn't, it's only like $60 to unlock everything, so I'm not really
Well,
concerned about that.
since we might possibly maybe if we have the energy for it, um, be finishing this chapter tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna crack open the old joystick. I'm gonna crack open the Atari joystick decanter, which
Oh,
is a thing that some reason I own,
I,
and I'm going to have just a little portion of
yeah,
the Angel's Envy rye.
I lied. I lied a little bit. I thought I was thinking only about the phone, and I'm like, my main entertainment portion's gone. I still have the computer with several functional games and the whole internet and the
Yeah,
ability to watch videos. And I also got that 3DS, which now actually has a games library that I put together for it. So
yeah.
I
I need
do
to
have
talk to
that
you
together.
about I need
I,
to talk to you about how you got that and stuff. But hold on one second. I'm going to do a quick little pour here. I gotta don't say anything for just a moment. There we go. Okay, thank you.
so
Nice
yeah,
little
I have. I got a little.
ASMR.
I got a little 22 game a little game case that holds 22 cartridges, and I decided once it's full, that's it for now. And if I eventually upgrade to the 40 game case, then I'll pick some more games and fill it up and and so that it fills up again. But for now, I think 22 games is a good cap considering that the 3DS is like third place in my hierarchy of devices that are important to me. And with me having to rebuild everything in the animal game now, that's gonna be my focus for like a while.
Hmm.
So yeah, um, it's screwy. Um, yeah. All right, shall we get started with Case of the Interloping Imposter?
Let's do that thing. I was actually just going to grab a water. I wasn't intending to make a drink, but I forgot to put in waters earlier and didn't have any cold ones.
What's going on here?
Nigel's coming up the stairs.
I.
Oh my god, these stairs are
Oh,
so
okay.
long.
All right, I'm going to
Yep,
refresh the
goes.
game. because it's doing
Yeah,
that thing that it did that
froze.
one time where it froze completely. So I'm gonna
Yep,
restart.
yep, yep.
We haven't lost
Yeah, it's
anything
fine.
because we
Oh,
haven't even started that case yet. So
did you see Warwick Castle flash by for just a second there when you did that?
yeah, that's the screenshot on the page itself. That's not anything.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was maybe some kind of a
I
something stuck in
I
memory or something.
refreshed the page. Are you still looking good from your end?
Yep, I've got a ever so slightly choppy QuickTime event happening.
And now you should see the
Oh
kids at
yeah,
the top of the tower.
they're waving at me again.
All right, so let's go in and do things.
They're
Sorry
in the
about
tower.
that.
Quick, shoot them.
That's a thing that happens sometimes with these emulators of old games. That's a thing
What
that
people
happens
doing towers
sometimes
get
with
shot?
modern games.
That's true.
So we're going back to the case of the interloping imposter. Well, we're going to start it. We didn't start it the first time, so.
Nigel, where are you, Nigel?
Phone call.
There he goes. Okay.
Hello, Jake Eagle here.
Lady Cheswick. Okay, yeah, I remember her. Who was she? She was just the nobility type person, or whatever. Oh, hello, Jake. Lady Cheswick here. Lord Cheswick and I have a favor to ask. Are you and Uncle free today?
Sure thing. What's up? One of your pet panthers gone missing? Someone steal your ruby collection? Uncle and I will track him down.
No, no. Sheba and Bastet are safe back on the estate, and our ruby collection is safely on loan to the British Museum. This is a bit more mundane favor, I'm afraid. Lord Cheswick and I will be holding our 5th wedding anniversary party at Warwick Castle. We've rented the entire castle for the weekend. What we'd like to ask you and Uncle to do is to deliver some of our invitations and join us at the party.
We
We're
love
very
to.
rich, you see.
We love to. What kind of party will it be?
Oh, one of the weird ones where everyone dresses in tiny clothing. Why a masquerade? Oh, I was right. Why a masquerade, of course. We're asking each of our guests to come dress as a figure from history or literature, a figure that has some kind of feline connection. The theme for this masquerade is cats.
And guess what? This is a clue. This is a major clue towards something that happens in the second case book. Pay attention. Pay
Sorry.
attention to the Cheswicks whenever they come up, okay?
No.
Well, you'll
I'll
understand what I
try.
mean. You'll understand what I mean as we get closer to the end of the second case book.
I will attempt to not blather. All right.
Excellent. A party at a castle sounds cool.
Mm. Lovely. We'll send a messenger round to your aunt and uncles with the invitations. We'll expect you and uncle at the castle by 3 p.m. Ta-ra!
Wow,
We're in the kitchen. Oh, sorry.
London messenger services are fast. There's Jeremy with the packet now.
Jeremy spoken class today. Swanky pair, the Cheswicks. Everyone knows that when they call, they expect their packages delivered pronto. Incredible house they have, too.
So I've heard. Is it true that they have bunches of weird animals running around loose on their estate?
Oh, yes, the half-cat, half-human hybrids are just terrifying. And his lordship loves foxes. There must be a dozen of them in the yard. And her ladyship's mad about all kinds of cats. He keeps 2 lovely black panthers in the mansion. How they feed them, I don't want to know.
Cool. I'd love to go visit their place sometime.
Ha! You'd be lucky. They never have guests. Even when one of us bike messengers comes by, we're only allowed just inside the gate. They're a great pair, those two, but secretive as all get out. This Uncle Basil. An invitation from the Cheswicks. You lucky devils. Their parties are world famous. They always rent some amazing location to hold them in. But a whole castle this time? Wherever do they get the lolly for that? Everyone has this theory. Everyone has their theories about how the Cheswicks made their fortune, but I suspect they stumbled across a Mayan treasure on one of their trips to Mexico. Just like them to hunt up some ancient treasure trove. That pair has more adventure in them than Robin Hood and Maid Marian.
You jammy beggars.
Jammy beggars. A Cheswick feat. How do you pronounce that? I've seen that written out. Fete. I know it means party, but is it feet or fate or?
I have no idea.
I think it's a French. I think it might be fete, like a French word. I really don't know. Fettuccine.
Do me a favor, won't you? Take copious notes on everything you see. These parties are always crammed with bigwigs. You know, famous people. It'd make a great story. You jammy beggars, you rotten little... Funny thing about the Cheswicks, everyone knows of them, but no one seems to really know about them. Where they come from is anyone's guess. I interviewed them once at a charity dinner, and I would have sworn Lord Cheswick's accent was Spanish. I was convinced he was from Barcelona, and possibly a Klingon. Then a year later I ran into them at the races at Ascot, and the men sounded as Parisian as they come. As for her, I can never quite place her accent at all.
But
Well,
wouldn't they be?
She'll fit right in with this show. Let me tell you.
But
Anyway.
wouldn't they be related to the last Lord and Lady Cheswick? They must be from England.
Oh no, the present Lord and Lady Cheswick didn't inherit their title from their parents. They bought it. They're just loaded with loot. My theory is he's a former bullfighter who made a fortune in the ring. That would explain his terrific athletic skill. Oh, sorry. He's absolutely mad about kiddie books. It wouldn't surprise me at all to find out that she secretly made $1 million publishing her own wildly successful children's stories under a made-up name. But however they came into it, they're just rolling in loot. The mind boggles. I'd like to kill them and steal it. Will you join me?
The messenger's pouch contains 4 invitations written in gold lettering on lambskin scrolls. Each invitation is tied up with a red velvet ribbon and sealed with gold wax. Wow, these are fancy. The invitations are addressed to Lord Pomeroy at Parliament, Lieutenant Haversham of the Horse Guard at Buckingham Palace, Lady Saltcoats at Marlfield Manor, and Sir Uppingham at Hampton Court. I think we've seen some of those people before.
Yeah, some of the names sound familiar.
We'll start with Buckingham Palace because it's right here.
Buckingham Palace is the London residence. Buckingham Palace is the London residence of the Queen and royal family. When the Queen is present in the palace, the royal standard is flown over the building. In order to help pay for the fire damage of Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace has been opened for public tours for the first time in Britain's history. Welcome to BBC World Service. At the tone, the time will be 24:11 and 5 seconds.
Wouldn't that be 0:11 technically? Don't we roll over?
It would,
24?
yeah. I was looking at the clock and it's like, I need to switch this to military time. That's what I'm going to do.
Buckingham Palace is where the Queen lives when she's in London, but she's not in today because unfortunately she died a couple years ago. But when this game was made, she was still very much alive, and for another 3 decades after that. See? They haven't put up the flag.
Yep. Lieutenant Havisham. Havisham. What an English name that is.
Well, very pleased indeed. Delighted to attend. Bit tricky getting leave from Her Majesty's Horse Guard on such short notice, but one must do one's best. After all, the Cheswicks have been dear friends since they attended my Victoria Cross Awards ceremony years ago. His lordship asks we dress up, does he? Jolly good. I've just the figure in mind. England's Lionheart.
Who's that, Lieutenant?
Just have to come and see, won't you? I'll not give myself away.
The coat of arms on the gate at Buckingham Palace is held up by a lion on the right and a unicorn on the left. See, there are cats of all kinds all over London.
The cat is one of the symbols of the British Empire. The lion and the unicorn have supported the British coat of arms since 1603, when James I came to the throne. James was a Scottish king before he came...
My goodness.
James was a Scottish king before he became king of all England. He kept the lion to represent England and the power of the English kings, and added the unicorn from his Scottish background.
Okay.
Now we're going to go over to Parliament.
Oh. The House of Parliament on the north bank of the Thames River is the seat of British government. London's famous bell tower, Big Ben, rises above the ancient buildings that house England's governing body. The time now, 0:14.
Aunt Miranda told me that Lord Pomeroy is a very powerful figure in British politics. Parliament is the perfect place to find him.
Lord Pomeroy. We've seen him before, haven't we?
I think so.
He seems familiar.
An invitation to the Chiswick's ball? Superb! Those two throw the grandest parties. Costume balls are such a lark. I know precisely who I'll dress as. Dorothy's favorite fearful feline.
Who is that, Lord Pomeroy?
Well, you'll just have to see, won't you? It's a masquerade after all, Jake. You'll have to figure out each guest for yourself.
I kind of am beginning to get ideas on the first two, but I don't want to spoil the whole mystery by accident, which is why I haven't said anything. We all know who Dorothy's favorite fearful feline is, so
Yeah.
Marfold Manor or Hampton Court? Where do you want to go first? Obviously, we're going to end up at Warwick Castle before we're done, but it won't let us go there until we finish delivering the invitations. The invitation to Sir Uppingham is addressed to Hampton Court. I didn't know people really lived there nowadays. What a lucky stiff.
Hampton Court, the Grand Palace of Henry VIII, lies a few miles up the Thames River from London. Surrounded by sumptuous gardens, the palace includes the luxurious royal apartments of William III, the Grand Royal Chapel, and Henry VIII's Great Hall. All right, Salem. Salem's back.
This place is fantastic. Henry VIII lived here, you know, and William and Mary too. The whole place is surrounded by these cool gardens. It must be the greatest to live here.
Sir Toby.
He might be new. He's not looking familiar to me.
Yeah. He looks kind of like a Daniel Craig type. Let's see. How delightful. An invitation from the Cheswicks. And aren't you two great sports for toting it all the way out here? Of course I'd be delighted to come. A feline costume ball, I see. Well, I've just the idea. I'll suit up as Mowgli's catty enemy.
How did you get to live here at Hampton Court? This place is the coolest. But it's open to the public, isn't it?
Her Majesty the Queen owns Hampton Court and many other royal dwellings, but she chooses to open it to the public so that we all can experience the history and grandeur of the palace. Yeah. She also allows some of her dearer friends and relatives the privilege of living in some of the quarters here. They're called Grace and Favor apartments because to live in one means you're a favorite of the Queen.
Like you?
Quite so.
All right. I know who he's going to be too. I mean, Mowgli's cat enemy. That's obvious too. For what it's worth, Mowgli also had a cat ally. So, but he said he was going to be Mowgli's enemy. So we're going to Marford. Lady Saltcoats lives at Marford Manor. She's pretty well off herself, but I bet she'll be impressed by the Cheswick's invitation. And we've actually seen her a bunch of times. We've been to Marford a couple times. There was that the tennis mystery was there, and the murder mystery was there. I love Marford Manor. It's an excellent place to hang out. Miss Beeswing makes the greatest scones.
Ooh, Oh, this is lady. This is Dame Edna. Oh, masquerade! How lovely! I do so adore parties. But one year the Cheswicks held a marvelous bash for Lady Cheswick's birthday. Lord Cheswick rented an entire train, the Orient Express itself. He had each compartment decorated to look as if it were a jungle, complete with exotic rainforest plants. Tiny monkeys swung from the vines, and hundreds of brightly colored birds sang from the trees, all as the train sped from London to Venice. Yes. Ah, what a pair! This one's a costume ball. Won't that be fun? A literary or historical feline figure, it says.
I know.
I just
Oh,
know.
sorry.
I I know just who I'll be. The ancient Riddler.
I know who that is too.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Quite an honor, young sir, to be invited to a Cheswick party. Their guest lists are always very select.
They pop by the manor every now and again, but I can't say we know much about them. I was most impressed to hear that some of the rare editions some of the rare editions of children's literature present in the British Library were donated by the Cheswicks. The lady's a great fan of Kipling, it seems.
Rudyard Kipling?
No, no, Bob Kipling. He's a little-known expatriate from Malta or the Maldives. Oh, no, no, I'm sorry, you're right. The man who wrote The Jungle Book and Rikki Tikki Tavi. His tales of India are some of the most delightful children's stories. My cat is screaming at me. I'm going to give him a treat real quick. I'll be right back. Hey, buddy. Good boy. You go that way. You go that way. Yeah. Boy. Yeah, boy.
Now that we've delivered all the invitations, let's get to Warwick for the party. I can't wait.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, it's 1:16 now. Actually, one time zone ahead of us, it really would be just after 1:16. Talk about funny timing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We
Yeah, pretty close.
one time zone ahead of us is in the ocean, though. Okay, maybe there's an island that's so tiny it's too small to be on maps. We need to check.
I don't know about that.
We need to check our train schedule and see what platform we need to go to catch the next train for Warwick. Grab your handbook. So this would be you and the train schedule charts.
Oh, okay. I've got to find that again. Hang on. Actually, I may have it already up. What am I looking for?
1:16, the platform we need to go to catch the train to Warwick.
Train to Warwick after 1:16. Got it. All right. Hang on a sec. One moment. Okay, it's on the next page. No, here it is. After 1:15. There is a 1:30 p.m. on platform 6. Platform, right?
Yeah. So you said platform 6?
Yep.
Great. The 1:30 train leaves from platform 6. It'll get us to Warwick in plenty of time. Let's
There
go.
we go. Oh, sorry, it's me. Warwick Castle in Warwickshire is one of the finest examples of medieval castles in Britain. The castle, now owned by Madame Tussauds, was first built in 1068 by William the Conqueror. Many great earls of Warwick ruled this castle, including Richard Neville, who was known as the Kingmaker for his part in the War of the Roses. Complete with grim dungeons and majestic battlements, Warwick Castle looks over the River Avon and acres of gardens where the cry of peacocks can be heard. It's also next to the River L'Oreal.
Wow, Lord and Lady Cheswick really know how to throw a party. This place looks like it's right out of a movie about King Arthur. This is
Okay,
this
now
is
how
Lady
am I going to do
Cheswick. By the way.
voices if I don't know who they are?
This is Lady Cheswick.
Ah, okay, all right. All right, hang on just a sec. Uncle Jake, now I'm doubly glad you've come. There's been a dreadful misunderstanding, and Alexander and I are assured that you'll be able to help clear things up.
Lady Cheswick, who are you dressed as?
Right, Puss in Boots, of course, from the fairy tale, and also the movie series. Here's our problem. As you know, we're very particular about our guest list. We only invite our dearest friends and never ever allow the press inside. We don't want them to see the weird stuff we get up to. Your Aunt Miranda just rang up to let me know that dreadful man Tungsten Spotty Wiles has crashed our party, pretending to be one of the guests. It would just be too horrible to unmask each of our guests in order to find him. That would spoil the whole party. You must help us ferret him out without letting the other guests know.
Okay, so that first guy at the Buckingham, he was Havisham. He said he was going to be England's famous Lionheart. That would probably be King Richard the Lionhearted. Would you agree?
I probably so, yeah.
And Parliament, Lord Pomeroy, he said Dorothy's fearful feline. That would be the Cowardly Lion.
Yep.
And then that other guy, the one at Hampton, what was his name, Sir Toby?
Yeah.
He said Mowgli's feline enemy. That would be Shere Khan the tiger. And then there was the Lady Edna. What did she say she was going to be again?
I have no idea. I do not remember.
Let me check our notes real quick. We're not going into solve. We haven't gotten far enough. All right. She'll come to the party as the ancient Riddler. That would be the Sphinx, as in the mythical Sphinx from Egypt and Greece mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we'll talk to this guy. Richard the First called it. So this is Havisham. This is Havisham.
Ah, okay. Havisham. Do you remember what he looked like?
He was the guard at Buckingham Palace.
Ah, okay.
Greetings, stout youth.
Greetings, Sir Knight. And what name do you go by?
Knight I am, but more than that, king. More than that, king. Richard the First at your service. Known to both friends and enemies as Richard Coeur de Lion.
Coeur de Lion?
That's French for Heart of the Lion. Richard the Lionheart to you.
Oh, I get it. Instead of being a cat, you're dressed as a king whose symbol was a cat, the king of beasts.
Exactly. The people called me Lionheart because of my bravery in battle. I ruled England from 1189 till 1199 in the time of the Crusades and the legendary Robin Hood. I was away at battle so much that I only spent 6 months of my reign in England.
This will be Lord Cheswick.
Okay.
He's
Jake.
he's gonna be the Cheshire Cat from Wonderland.
Okay. Jake, Uncle, it's me, Lord Cheswick. Great to see you. Has Sarah told you about our problem yet? I do hope you can help us out.
We'll try, Lord Cheswick. What famous cat are you dressed as?
Why, the Cheshire Cat, of course, from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. These Lewis Carroll books are some of my favorites. Alice meets the Cheshire Cat on her trip through Wonderland. He's very mischievous. He can also disappear, leaving only his great big grin behind. But I'm afraid I've got to practice that little stunt. I'm very pleased at how imaginative our guests have been. The costumes are marvelous. The problem is, I know we invited only you, Uncle, and our 4 other guests. But doing a quick head count, I come up with 5 other guests. Sarah, Lady Cheswick, I mean, and I are very serious about our privacy. Actually, it would be privacy. We're counting on you to root out the uninvited guest and help us eject him or her.
So now we have to go into another room and meet everyone else. This door will take
And
us. This door
we'll
will.
be ejecting them with a genuine medieval trebuchet. You can watch them. It'll be wonderful.
This door will take us out to the castle courtyard and up to the battlements. Here are all the other guests. Lord and Lady Cheswick have really gone whole hog. Look at all these banners.
Let me set the battlements on fire.
So this will be Pomeroy,
Okay.
the Parliament guy.
I'm actually going to do something different for the costume. Oh, no pictures, please. The Flash terrifies me. Sorry to be so jumpy, but I'm afraid it's my nature. Have you seen Dorothy or the Tin Man? I must catch up with them.
Dorothy, the Tin Man? I know who you are. You're the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz, right?
Cowardly? Who you calling cowardly? Eek! Was that a mouse? Oh dear, oh dear. It's not my own fault. I'm so timid. Blame L. Frank Baum.
Who's that? Someone who
Chin.
frightened you?
It's Chin. Oh no. L. Frank Baum wrote me this way. He's the author of the children's stories about Dorothy and the Land of Oz. The movie you've seen comes from those books.
So this is Shere Khan. This will be Sir Toby.
Careful, man-child. That flash reminds me much of fire, the red flower that your people love so.
Who are you supposed to be?
Surely you've read of me in the Jungle Book. My name's Shere Khan, Lord of the Jungle, foe of Mowgli, son of Moog. See where the cur burned my tail with his red flower. All the animals in the jungle fear me, even Kaa the snake. Their punctuation is really tiny. All the animals, all the animals in the jungle fear me, even Kaa the snake and Baloo the great bear. But I fear only Mowgli. He's a man-child now, but soon he will be a man, and man is the tiger's only enemy.
Cat in the Hat. Nobody said it was going to be him. So, Cat in the Hat, as you know, is a Dr. Seuss character. You should probably do some capitalize something on that.
Mike Myers was the back. I don't have no idea what he sounds like. And who are you? Thing 1 and Thing 2?
No, I'm Jake Eagle, and this is Uncle Evie. Who are you?
Lecha dans le chapeau, el gato con sombrero.
What? I don't speak any French, and my Spanish isn't that good yet, but I recognize that hat. You're the Cat in the Hat, aren't you? Jenny and I used to love that book when we were little.
That's me, the mischievous cat. Here's my tail, and here is my hat. Dr. Seuss wrote me all in rhyme, so as you can see, I must rhyme all the time.
I remember reading books by Dr. Seuss when I was little. They're full of weird characters and crazy rhymes. For example, I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them Sam I am. And if this was about a year ago, I could have recited the whole book to you from memory.
I would not eat them on a boat. I would not eat them with a goat.
I would not eat them. But then, of course, the punchline where he actually takes a bite, and he would eat them here, there. I would eat them anywhere. Thank you, Sam I am. I really like green eggs and ham. We're getting off topic now. That's Shayna's favorite Dr. Seuss book. That's why it's pretty much committed to memory.
It's a great thing to go off topic for, so love Dr. Seuss. Anyway, it's me. Now who is this?
Saltcoats, but since she is playing an ancient mythological beast, you could take this in that direction if you want, or you could just play it straight as Saltcoats, whatever you want.
Yeah, let's do. Let's see.
Stand. You shall not. Excuse me. You shall not pass without an answer.
An answer to what?
The riddle of the ages. Don't you know the legend of the Sphinx?
No, is that who you are? A Sphinx? What is that?
I am the Sphinx, the dread creature with a human head and the body of a lion. To pass, you must answer the same riddle I asked of Oedipus. Fail, and I will devour you as I did the unfortunate men of Thebes.
Okay, wait a minute. She's identifying the Sphinx as a creature with a human head and a lion body. Clearly, this is a human body with a lion head. But there's only so much you can do with a costume on a human body, so it gets the point across.
Yep.
Yikes, devour me. What's the riddle?
What creatures walk on 4 legs in the morning, on 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? Oh, come on, everybody knows this one.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Did you say man? You're correct. Man crawls on 4 legs as a baby in the morning of his life, walks on 2 legs as a grown person, and then in the evening of his years, when he gets closer to death, uses the 3rd leg of a cane. Well done.
Whew. Okay, I think we have enough to solve here.
Yeah, probably.
I think we've played cat and mouse with the Gatecrasher long enough.
Yeah.
Pick the clues that show how each of the invited guests said they'd be disguised and which one doesn't match up.
Actually, the cat and mouse comment deserves a SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one doesn't matter. Blah blah. We don't care about that.
Yeah, no, that's just
Nope,
background about the
doesn't matter.
Cheswicks.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. The middle one might have provided a motive for
Maybe,
the reporter to be.
I think we need to give a clue, rolling out the 4 characters that we know,
Right.
and
Yep,
then
yep.
one clue that says the character that we didn't get, notified of
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yep. All right, so coming to party. Okay, Pomeroy is Dorothy's favorite feline. The third one, I think that's one.
England's
and
Lionheart,
that one- Yep.
Ancient
The
Riddler,
process. It's process of elimination is what it is. He'll dress
Mowgli's
as Mowgli's
catty
catty enemy, and Lady Cheswick is dressed as.
Well, they wouldn't be the gatecrasher themselves. They're the hosts.
Oh, they're the host. Yeah. Good point. Richard the Lionheart.
Yeah.
One of the guests is dressed as a cowardly lion.
Yeah, One of the guests is dressed as the Cat in the Hat. We want the Cat in the Hat. The Cat in the Hat is our guy. He will be caught in his own lie.
Now, why is that? The Cat in the Hat.
The riddle of the cats. We saw the riddle of the cats was not too hard. This cat will soon be caught eating lard because it's too tired and I cannot think like a bard.
This cat will soon be caught and placed under guard. So, but what was the conclusive thing for him? What was the thing that or her?
None of the guests that we gave invitations to said anything about Dr. Seuss or the Cat in the Hat. These characters, these characters were all hinted at when we talked to the 4 guests we gave the invitations to.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. Do it.
You got it. The guest dressed as the Cat in the Hat is really Spotty Wiles from the London Sun. To figure this one out, we had to use the process of elimination. To do that, we find out each of the people who are who they said they would be, and eliminate them from a list of suspects. Eventually, there will be only one name left: the guilty person. Lady Saltcoats told us that she was. Lady Saltcoats told us that she was going to dress up as the ancient feline Riddler. One of the guests at the party dressed as the Sphinx, a mythological half-person, half-lion monster who asked riddles of travelers and ate those that couldn't answer. This ancient Riddler must have been Lady Saltcoats. Lieutenant Haversham told us he was coming as England's Lionheart. He must have meant King Richard I, who was known as Richard Lionheart for his bravery. And actually, one of the Pokemon card commentators on YouTube goes by Leonheart.
Huh.
Yeah, Lord Pomeroy told us he was going to come as Dorothy's favorite fearful feline. He meant the cowardly lion, Dorothy's friend in The Wizard of Oz, who was fearful of everything.
From the description, we all knew who that was.
Sir Toby told us that he was going to come as Mowgli's enemy. Mowgli was a character in the Jungle Book whose worst enemy was Shere Khan, the lame tiger. But when we were bringing invitations to people, none of them mentioned anything about coming as the Cat in the Hat, a character from a Dr. Seuss book. That must have been the gatecrasher, Spotty Wiles.
Yep, his camera and his hat, I bet. Masquerade Marauder Unmasked. Lord and Lady Cheswick, the mysterious and wealthy owners of Cheswick Hall, threw another of their famous gala balls this weekend. This ball, set at fabulous Warwick Castle, was saved by the detective work of American sleuths Uncle Evie and Jake Eagle. Uncle unmasked a reporter sent to spy on our party, said Lord Alexander Cheswick. Strangely, the trespasser informed the police that his invitation came in a package sent by someone named Cavity. McCavity is the code name of the prankster that has been plaguing Scotland Yard with practical jokes and petty mischief. I think Uncle is just marvelous, gushed Lady Sarah Cheswick. He discovered which of our costumed guests was not invited without seeing any of their faces.
Keep note of the fact that McCavity invited the press guy.
Yeah.
That will be relevant later. There's not usually There's not this game doesn't usually have a lot of running threads, but there's a connection here with McCavity, which you will understand when we get to the end
Yeah.
of the second casebook.
Yeah. That's when we go to see Cats the musical. He's all alone in the moonlight. I leaned all the way back from the mic and it was still spiking red.
Case of the Renegade Raven.
My neighbors think I'm insane.
Are we ready?
Let's do it. Renegade Raven. Rock and roll.
R. Me boy.
Jake, Mum just called in from the tower. One of the ravens has disappeared.
The Tower? Ravens? What are you talking about, Nigel?
Well, we were watching an American football game, and the quarterback just simply disappeared. He was from Baltimore, you see. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about last week. The Tower of London, where they keep the crown jewels. One of the ravens that lives there seems to have been stolen. The legend says that if the ravens leave, the tower will fall.
Wow, we better get over there and see if we can help out.
I blame shoddy construction myself, but that's just me.
We have two things on the map, but let's go to the red one first, because that's where the case is technically supposed to start.
The Tower of London. Okay, I've read this like 5 times. The Tower of London was built. It's there. We're good.
Well, yeah, but you haven't read it this episode, so.
I'm pretty sure I have, because I remember seeing 1066, the Battle of Hastings. I used to work at a place called Hastings.
Well, this is one of the most presented blurbs, so I guess we'll just go on.
Yeah.
There's Aunt Miranda with some other reporters in one of the beefeaters. I've seen their pictures in books. He looks like he's in some kind of costume, but that's his real uniform. Let's see what he's saying about the Raven's disappearance.
Yes, let's. Chief Warder Hargreaves, I'm Miranda Eagle from the Times. What can you tell us about the mysterious disappearance of one of the ravens?
The ravens have lived at the tower since its earliest days, over 700 years ago. They're carrion birds, which means you can take them on airplanes without paying an extra fee. Also means they eat dead animals and leftover food they find lying around. They were attracted here by the food scraps thrown out by the people living at the fortress. In the past, of course, the tower wasn't just a fortress. It was also a prison and execution site. When traitors were beheaded, their heads were placed on pikes and displayed on the tower walls as a warning to others.
Yikes.
The ravens these days must be satisfied with horse meat, fruit, and eggs.
She's new.
Monsieur
What?
She's new. And she's
Okay.
French.
Yeah, I kind of get the idea there.
Monsieur Hargreaves, I am Mademoiselle Le Chaton of the French magazine Elios. How is it that security at the famous Tower of London was so poor as to let one of these birds slip through your fingers?
Mademoiselle, tower security has always been excellent. After all, we've kept the priceless crown jewels safely under lock and key for over 300 years.
Here's Spotty Wiles. He's our Cheshire Cat from the last mystery.
I don't know what to make him sound like. Tungsten Wiles from the Sun here. How many ravens are there exactly, and how many are missing at present?
There's 8 ravens presently living at the tower. Only one of these is missing, a bird named Jackie. They're looked after by Greaves, our raven master.
Oh, Greaves is the Raven Master, huh? Nice to see he's picked up some work.
Now, that's all the time I have questions for at the moment. If you have any further queries, you must address them to Scotland Yard.
I've been keeping a close watch on that French woman, Le Chaton. She's been slinking around here all week as if she were up to something.
Well, the English
So,
always suspect the French. So, of course,
That's true, yeah.
a French person in London would automatically be sus.
Yeah.
She's always lugging about tons of big bags full of photo equipment and snapping pics of everyone and everything in sight. I suppose she's only doing her job, writing a story on the demonstrations and all, but I think she's got a lot of nerve.
Demonstrations, the plot thickens. What?
Dun, dun, dun. Yesterday I saw her throwing food to one of the ravens over by the White Tower, which should not be confused with the White Castle. An American fast food restaurant. That's not allowed, even if it does help you to get a close-up photo.
As a member of St. Crispin's Cadets, it's my duty to help the guards and visitors round the tower. Dara and I keep a close lookout for injured guests, suspicious packages, or strange happenings. Sometimes there are demonstrators here, so we kept a pretty sharp eye on the ravens. But with 8 of them spread out around the grounds, we can't watch them all at once, you know.
What kind of demonstrations are you talking about, Simon?
Lately, some students, animal rights activists from the university, have been protesting outside the tower grounds on behalf of the ravens. They believe it's cruel to keep the ravens here by clipping their wings. The Raven Master Greaves could probably tell you more about that. Greaves is a fanatic about his birds. He takes smashing care of them, like they were his own kids. These demonstrations have really upset him. Greaves is the only human who the ravens are allowed to touch him. We steer clear of them. They'll bite anyone else who comes close.
This raven, Cedric, is tagged with a dark blue leg ring. He is a large bird, jet black in color and approximately 2 feet high. Behind him is the information poster on ravens. The poster says that ravens at the tower, like ravens in the wild, are territorial. This means that the birds will pick one area of the tower grounds to live in, and they will defend it from intruders and other ravens. The poster gives a chart of the ravens' territories. Jackie's territory is just outside the White Tower. The poster mentions that the ravens have been protected by royal decree from the time of Charles II because of a legend. The legend states that if all the ravens leave the tower, the White Tower will crumble and the monarchy of England will fall. Now we can go inside. The White Tower contains the Royal Armory, a huge collection of armor and weapons. The armory is full of all kinds of cool stuff. Swords and suits of armor that were worn by kings hundreds of years ago. Jennifer and I love exploring this place. Look, there's Greaves, the Raven Master.
I can't tell you how worried I am about Jackie. She's one of the few ravens actually born here. I can't imagine why anybody would want to steal her. I raise most of the ravens here from chicks. I feed them, look after them, and see to it that they're all safe in their cages at nightfall. Once the tower is closed to the public at 6 p.m., I round them all up. But last night, Jackie was nowhere to be found. I even went out and looked at Possum Lodge, and nobody was there. If only I hadn't been out yesterday evening giving that lecture at the zoo. I just know that if I'd been here, I might have seen something or prevented Jackie's theft entirely.
Oh wait,
I don't know why.
I just
I
saw
was just gonna
something.
say-
It's not clickable, but if you look in the back, I think this is the first and only time we see an actual kid in this game. Obviously, you can't
What's
click them, but that's definitely a kid-sized person right there looking at that case.
Yeah. So on the far right, you see that white thing on the far right?
This thing.
It looks like it looks like an old AT&T desk phone. That'd be funny if they had
I
that
think
in the
I think it's
British
supposed
Museum.
to be. I think it's supposed to be a plaque identifying these artifacts.
I think it is too, but it looks like an old AT&T desk phone.
Which makes it funny, you see.
And it's back to the map.
We're
It's
gonna go to the zoo.
return of map.
We're going to.
Return of map.
Actually, there's a song about the zoo. What I go. I can't remember. We'll have to do the zoo song another day. Let's see what we
Zoo
can
song?
learn about ravens here at the zoo. Mr. Potter, the zookeeper, knows everything about animals. We've seen this guy before.
Yeah, he's what's the guy's name? Crikey, that guy. Steve Irwin. Yeah.
Ravens are related to the crow family, the genus Corvus. They're huge birds, beautiful plumage, and have mean tempers. They're clever, though. They can be taught to speak, much like parrots can. They're awfully greedy birds. I suspect that you'd be able to tempt one to come towards you Very easily would have been a meat or an old sandwich. That might be a good way to catch one, but you'd still have to look out for its bite. Pity you weren't here yesterday. Greaves, the Raven Master from the Tower of London, was here giving a lecture all about ravens. It was so interesting that people were here until 5:30 p.m. asking him questions. So he mentioned a time awkwardly, so I'm thinking that's a clue.
We're gonna go
He
to
was there
Scotland
at
Yard.
5:30. Right. Stop by 221B Baker on the way, would you?
I don't think it lets us do that. It looks like Inspector Gage is on the Raven case. Let's see if he'll let us go over the dosser.
Yay, Matt Berry returns.
This Raven case has us puzzled. Security at the tower is rather tight, so it's hard to imagine exactly how someone could have slipped a large bird out from under the beefeaters' noses. My suspicion is that the thief smuggled the bird out in some kind of large satchel or carrying case, or maybe even a larger bird. The guards at the tower search bags coming in to help protect against bomb threats, but as far as I know, they do not search anyone leaving the grounds. The beefeaters were able to tell us that Jackie was last seen at 4 p.m., when Mr. Hill gave his last tour of the day. He remembers pointing Jackie out by her green leg band. We have files on our main suspects. If you'd like to have a look, they're over there on the filing cabinet.
The file on the Raven case contains brief profiles on 4 suspects. Chelsea Sinclair, a student of the university and animal rights activist, we've seen her before, has on her record a previous arrest for freeing laboratory animals from their cages at the university. Marcus Dare is a university student and animal rights activist. He has received honors in science and music. He has never been arrested. Mademoiselle Le Chaton is the star investigative reporter for Allures, a notorious scandal-seeking magazine based in Paris. Her record in England is clean, but her international record is not available. Raven Master Greaves has a record of 25 years distinguished service in the Royal Air Force. He has been employed at the tower as Raven Master for 7 years. His record contains no arrests. And I would think for something as serious as working at the Tower of London, your record would have to have no arrests for you to keep a prominent job like that.
Yeah. The background check has got to be hellish for something like that.
For something like Tower of London.
We're going to live with you for 5 years and make sure nothing suspicious.
Tower of London, any of the royal palaces, places like that. You would have to have like the perfectly clean. So we're going to the University of London. We're going to meet these 2 other students who are also apparently suspicious. I already know who did it, though. We all know who did it already.
Of course, it was the butler. It's always the butler.
The protesters that Simon told us about came from the university. Let's see if we can find out more about the animal rights demonstration from some of the students here.
Chelsea from Chelsingham. Yes, I was involved in the demonstrations at the tower. In fact, I helped organize them. I think it's just awful that they clipped those poor birds' wings. Imagine forcing an animal to live in a cage just for the sake of some ridiculous legend. Mind you, I'm not saying I support the theft of the bird. I think that's a dreadful thing to do to an animal. The poor thing must be terrified wherever it is. I dearly hope you don't think that any of us would be rash enough to do such a thing. Marcus and I were outside the tower gates until 4 p.m. protesting. Afterwards, I came straight back to meet my roommate Miriam here for our study session.
Okay, 4 p.m. Who was there till 5:30? Do you remember? I just remember.
Greaves was giving his lecture at the zoo till 5:30. So he wasn't there to round up the ravens until late that day.
Gotcha, okay.
If you ask me, this is all a stunt by that Raven Master Greaves. He didn't like us demonstrating at all. I bet he set this whole thing up to get us into trouble and put an end to our animal rights protest. Why don't you go ask him about his ravens?
So these animal rights activists, they're against both sides here. They're both against the tower keeping the ravens, and they're both against other parties stealing the ravens. They can't have it
Yep.
both ways. Who do they support?
Well, no, no, they totally can. Like they don't like what they do to the ravens, but it's also bad for them to steal them because they. Marcus Dare, we've seen him before, I think.
I don't
Haven't
remember
we?
where, but
I remember the name.
yeah, we've
I
seen
think
him. I
it's
just
mob.
don't remember where when.
No. I think it's marvelous that someone had the courage to liberate that poor raven. Well done, I say. I'm sure Chelsea approves. She doesn't. She's a splendid girl, that Chelsea. I bet she's impressed by that daring raven thief. I wish there was something I could do to impress her. Oh, he did it. I'm sure he did it. Something that wasn't illegal, I mean, of course. Protesting is one thing, but theft, why, that's against the law. And the roommate,
She's new. She's
Miriam.
new.
What a lot of fuss over a silly bird. Did you know we had a constable here from Scotland Yard nosing about? He seemed to think Chelsea might have had something to do with the theft since she was protesting at the tower yesterday. But I'm sure I would have noticed if Chelsea had brought home a raven last night. She instead brought home one of the Kansas City Chiefs. It was really rather embarrassing. She was home in time for our 4:30 study session. We had an exam today in math. Thank heavens that's done with.
So she was home at 4:30. The other guy was out of there. It's
A
dude.
message near the student phone in the hallway says that Marcus's cello teacher called. The message reads,
Cello.
Marcus, Mr. Wren called to tell you that you left your sheet music in his classroom after your 4:30 lesson yesterday. You may pick it up this evening before 6 p.m. So if he was
Well,
at...
that's after 5:30.
I think that's all the things to read, but let me go back to the map and make sure. No, something's flashing again.
Uh-oh. More clues?
It looks like some of the reporters are still here getting information about the Raven story.
What do I do for this guy? Well, I've interviewed everyone and seen everything. It's clear the Raven was taken as part of a plot to overthrow the Queen.
What makes you say that, Mr. Wiles?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? I mean, Raven disappears, no clues, no trace. Obviously, dark forces at work. Everyone knows the legend. If the Ravens leave the tower, the King or Queen of England falls from power. And then they'll go pick a flower within the hour. Mark my words, this is only one in a series of Raven thefts we'll see, and when the tower crumbles, I'll be here to get the story. This is the stuff of Pulitzers, I tell you. Yes. What smashing luck for Le Chaton. I've heard she's been working on a story about English security and how lax it is. Laxative? This has turned out to be a perfect moment for her to be at the tower. This Raven's theft is just the embarrassing event she's been looking for. Coincidental, isn't it? Isn't it ironic, don't you think? A little too ironic, don't you think?
Well, we've retraced Jackie's steps, and I'm more convinced than ever she must have been taken by someone from her favorite perch at the White Tower. Not to be confused with the White Castle. We got one of those down the road in Quebec. She spends most afternoons there trying to beg scraps of food from the tower visitors. I don't like her to do it, but I mean, it's in her nature and all, so.
Why don't you like her to do it, Mr. Greaves?
Well, partly because of some of the rubbish that some people will feed her. Crisps, sweets, plastic wrappers. But mostly because I fear she might bite someone one day. A raven bite can be nasty business. Can't fix that with duct tape.
They still have the Cedric read, but this is the same thing that we read before at the beginning.
Okay.
This is just a kind of, how you say, incident that proves what I am saying in my latest article for Alois. I am French, you see. So-called security here in England is no better than the dreadful English cooking. If someone can steal a great big bird right out from under their noses, how can these eaters of beef keep any of the priceless jewels here safe? Answer me that.
Mademoiselle
Mademoiselle-
Lechon is wearing long
Oh,
black gloves. You can see the edges of what appear to be bandages sticking out of both of her gloves. There's the
Oh,
clue.
it was her. It was her. Yeah, I was sus on the other guy because of the time thing, but no, she wanted to make her career, by golly, and it's worth a few little nicks and scrapes on her arms to do so. Yeah.
All right, these are background information here.
Yep, yep.
In this case, the student demonstrators are irrelevant.
Yeah, they didn't have anything to do with it.
All right.
Uh,
Mademoiselle
Yep.
Le Chaton was throwing food to a raven.
Yep, yep. Territorial. Yep. Okay, keep going. I think these are all.
Well, this one it says
Oh
that
wait. No,
Jackie's
it's a White
is,
Tower. Yeah.
White
I
Tower.
get
This
that one.
links those two clues, the
Yeah.
White Tower bit.
I missed the White Tower link.
Well, we only get 3 more clues, so let's just go through.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all irrelevant, man. Mark Stair has a crush on Chelsea. Blah 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 blah. It doesn't have anything to do with the plot to overthrow the queen. So, Madame Le Chaton. He says the theft of Raven. Yep, right there. Bam. And the bandages. That is or the next one. That is a huge clue. Claire was there. Mark Stairs. Yeah. Yep. Nope. Mr. Porter. Tempting it with food, but it'd probably try to bite its captor. Yep, there we go. Good on us. We're good detectives.
Have you noticed how after every mystery he gets the smug smile?
Yeah, his eyebrow goes up and he's like, yeah.
You're right. Madame Le Chaton stole a raven herself to embarrass the Tower of London beefeaters and give her article a big scoop for the headlines. Tungsten Wiles told us that Madame Le Chaton was writing an article on bad security in England. This raven theft was the perfect centerpiece for her news story. Our suspicions deepened when Darren told us that he saw her throwing food to a raven near the White Tower.
Not the White Castle.
Studying the information posters near the raven cages told us that the White Tower was Jackie's territory. Jackie was the missing raven. Mr. Potter at the zoo told us that ravens are greedy birds who can be tempted with food, but will bite anyone trying to capture them. Mademoiselle Le Chaton had bandages on her hands because Jackie must have bitten her as she stuffed the bird into one of her satchels.
And now the wrap up. Brought to you tonight by Bob's Power Tools. Bob's Power Tools for all your power tool rental needs. American detectives retrieved Raven. Uncle Evie and Jake Eagle of the famed American Eagle Eye Detective Agency solved the.
Here's to give you an idea of how big ravens are. Here's a raven feather. You can see its scale in comparison with a standard scrapbook page.
The mysterious disappearance of one of the tower's ravens yesterday. Jackie's been returned to us safe and sound thanks to Uncle, said Chief Yeoman Warder Hargreaves. Mademoiselle Le Chaton, an infamous scandalmonger for the French magazine Alors, has been arrested in connection with the raven's theft. Inspector Gage of Scotland Yard states Uncle's clues put the pieces together. He saw at once that Le Chaton's presence at the tower was not coincidental. In fact, she stole the raven so she could write a news story claiming that tower security is lax. Uncle saved the day by pointing out that tower security played a major part in solving the case. Thus endeth the case.
And I'm going to be quite real with you. I don't think I feel another hour.
You getting real with me, man? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I gotta be honest. I haven't been feeling great physically like all day, and I still managed to get to Temple, and I managed to do a shopping at Costco. So, yeah, it's been a day. And then of course,
yeah, it's cool.
And with the destruction of my phone, on top of that, I'm actually starting to crash pretty hard. I don't even know if I can stay up to process my video. Although there's one thing that gives me a second wind. So let me just check and see if it's up. Because if it's not, I'm not even gonna try to force myself to stay up tonight. Yeah, no.
Talking about the mystical money thing.
The free money, yeah, no, it's not flowing tonight. So
yeah,
there's no reason to even try to force
cool.
myself to stay up. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna process the video when I get up.
What are your stream plans for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, well, you stream with Alan, don't you?
If any. I don't think he's coming tomorrow. He's taking a few weeks off. He's had some stuff going on. Just taking a little break.
Because of the issues I've been having with Fortnite, I think Game streams are going to be a bit of a rough thing. I want to make sure my computer's operating smoothly, at least until I get my phone, because
Yeah.
my computer is my only line of communication right now. The 3DS, of course, doesn't have network connection anymore. The servers went down for that last year, so um, the so yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna screw around with computer games. Maybe Morrowind because it's an older that one might run, but
Yeah.
the more than likely I'll probably just go into my Lego build queue. But I'm trying to be conservative of those because aside from the May stuff, and I don't even know what the Lego budget for May Star Wars Celebration is even going to be at this point. But I know that the two sets that I had planned on doing for April are right out with the phone thing. So all I have
Yeah.
is the 5 streams I currently have in the build queue, which I'm trying to space out now because I have to be conservative at least until May. But I might do one of those streams. So
Okay.
they're all Mario
I
streams. I have a
I
stream. Go on.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have a stream based around the Toad Village and Yoshi. I have a stream based around the wetlands, which is the Soda Swamp and the beachfront. And then I have a stream based around the Sky World, a stream based around the Lava World, and then I have the 2 maker sets, which are like add-ons to the starter sets. So I have options. I have 5 Mario streams in the queue. Obviously, I still have to get the 4 Bowser level sets, but that's going to be after Star Wars at this point because
Yeah.
there is no Lego budget for April anymore, thanks to the
Yeah.
having to get the new phone.
Well, the thing that I did, I didn't think there was any way in heck I was gonna win it, but I ended up spending right at 80. It was like 79 something, I think. $79 I believe it was with shipping and tax for the retired lunar lander Lego set.
How much money?
Uh, it was like right at $80. It was like 79 something, which is essentially what it was for retail,
If you
which
can
is nice.
get a
What's that?
retired set at retail, you're doing pretty good.
I did, yeah. I was shocked by that, frankly, because it had other bidders on it. But
Yeah.
I mean, and I didn't do any last minute funkiness like I sometimes have to do and throw in the bid at 30 seconds or whatever. It wasn't anything like that. So I just I put that I wanted to spend $79 on it because that's what it was for retail, and it stuck. So
So,
nobody came up higher. And on eBay, it's like 120 bucks. So there's that.
I know the zoo game works on stream, so I might try that, or Morrowind, or I'll do Lego. That's pretty much my 3 options of things I have ready to go. There's also a lot
Okay.
of there's also a lot of low resource and Steam games. So I could try one of those. A lot of silly little games and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So I do have options for tomorrow if I don't want to be diving into the queue because other than Star Wars, which is sort of pre-budgeted, but at this point I don't know how much. And definitely the Marvel Avengers set that I was planning to get for at some point in April, that's being postponed to June at this point. So
okay.
so yeah,
Yeah,
there's
this is the first smaller set that I've had in a while. I've got a bunch of bigger sets sitting around, and I've got probably a dozen Lego sets just sitting
yeah.
here that I just don't have room to put together or anything. But the Lunar Lander is a smaller one. It's like 1,000 something pieces,
Yeah.
I think.
There's options. There's options for tomorrow. I just don't know exactly what's going to play out for me. But with
Yeah.
things like Morrowind, I do have a little flexibility with the time, which means I can end
Yeah.
any time. If I do one of the Lego streams, then I'm committed for whatever sets are in that stream. So
Yeah. If I don't, I don't know if I'm going to do. Well, first off, it has to get here tomorrow. It's supposed to get here tomorrow, but you know how that goes. Um, I may decide not to mess with it because I have to like rearrange everything to do the Lego streams, and I may just do. I got a code for oh, what's it called? South of Midnight. It's a brand new game from oh, is it Rare? It's not Rare. I can't remember who did it, but it's one of the Xbox studios. But it's south of Midnight, and it's a really neat looking game. I just looked at like the first level of it just to see what it looked like, and then I deleted my save games. so it can start fresh. I may just go ahead and do that and start a playthrough of that so I can use that in times when I'm not streaming with either you or Unbalanced.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like totally physically uncomfortable now, so I have to get out of this chair for a while. But seeing, so I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna
You should
go.
try whiskey. It really helps with
Uh,
that.
I'm gonna go try and
All right.
figure out which of my 3DS games uses the least concentration while I wait for my
All
video
right.
to
Cool. Cool.
process.
So, do you have social media or anything that you want to direct people to or anything like that
Uh,
before we part?
I have my YouTube channel that's linked in my Twitch channel. But it's on
Cool.
YouTube.
All right.
I'm the same name, Uncle Evie. So
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
find
I'm.
you'll find the entire history of my stream channel there. Every episode I've ever done. It's up to like 300 plus now over 4.5 years.
Oh wow, dang. Yeah, you got quite a few up there. You got quite a selection. I don't have anything on YouTube at this point. I'm one of those people that insists on editing my videos, and it just takes so long. It's so tiresome.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of it, but I don't want to just throw stuff up. So,
When I did my garden,
not that.
yeah, go on.
What's that?
Oh, when I did my garden a couple weeks ago,
Mm.
I noticed that what was I gonna say? When I did my garden, I noticed that what was I saying? Well, I got a network disruption in the middle, so I had to actually take two videos and splice them together before uploading. Usually I don't
Oh
do
yeah, yeah,
editing, but I've had that happen like
yeah.
a couple times in the past that I've had to do that. And I
Yeah.
noticed that after the combined video rendered and I I put it in my backups, it was like half the size it would have been otherwise had it just been one video straight through. Knowing that, I may embark on a massive project over the next couple months to convert to run all my videos through the editor just to render them at the smaller
Yeah.
file size to buy myself more time until I have to get a new hard drive.
Well, let me share this with you. This is something that happened one time absolutely by mistake, but the results were like way better than I would have predicted. There's a function in OBS where you can turn on automatic recording to the hard disk, and it basically records everything you do to a video file as you're recording it on the same computer, rather than uploading to Twitch and then having to download it and all that kind of mess. That broke for me so many times. It was very frustrating. I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to keep doing this because it's terrible. But then somehow or another, I accidentally started the recording function one time for I can't remember how it happened, but I never used it because I thought this computer is not stout enough to do that. I can't stream and record at the same time. But no, it was beautiful. It was flawless, and so I've just been doing that. I don't even bother messing with downloads anymore. I just you know do the stream. I've got the video file. I save it and just rename it and move it to another directory, and that's all I do.
I
It's 5 minutes, if even that. So
Yeah.
you might try it on yours. You might be impressed with the
He's actually in tonight. I'm gonna get ready to rate John Lee
results.
music. He's my usual late night guy who tends to
But
be
anyway,
on late night.
we're coming up on 15 after. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my little closing here. Thanks for showing up, everybody, to this raucous insanity that is the English countryside and city in London. We will continue this series. We're going to keep going with it until we work through the entire Eagle Eye Mysteries London. And I'm having a great time doing this. I really wish I had a better memory for which voices went with which character, but it is what it is. But so we'll be back with this, if not next week, then the week after. We'll talk about that, and I will post it on my social media. The only social media I have right now is the Blue Sky account. That is also linked in my Twitch. But I am BretTheBreton, one long word, one T on Brett. It's
And we have
BretTheBreton on Blue Sky, and I always post shows there when I go live. So if you want to follow that account, it will ping you whenever I click the magic button to stop or to start streaming.
sorry we didn't quite get the last two, but it just means that we're gonna start the second case book in the middle of the next episode instead of the beginning. I don't think it's a huge deal.
Yeah,
So
it's fine. It's fine.
so yeah, so we
It,
have
it, it, it's better, I think, than just having one.
Yeah, that's what I
like
said.
like we were talking about earlier. Yeah,
I
I think it's
didn't want
better.
to leave us with one because that would just look sloppy. I think.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and
So
drop. And
I think the next time we do this, we'll do the first two mysteries. We'll have the first break, and then we'll dive into the second case book. Which honestly, I think the second case book, even though it's the same number of cases, is going to be an extra episode or two because those are more involved. I think.
okay, I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to see something a little more involved because we're picking these out like I'm not paying attention to these at all when I'm doing the voices. I'm just concentrating on doing the voices. And so, I'm counting on you to do the solves at the end. So I appreciate you doing that because I really have no idea most of the time. But some of them, I mean, it's just painfully obvious which person it is and all those kinds of things. So I would like to see something a little more challenging from the series and see where it can go. So I'm excited about it. I'm enjoying this.
So for a quick recap for my people, I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow night, but I'll probably be here. We'll probably take next week off for London. Uh, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know we have a holiday coming up, and I think that's going to
Ah,
be next weekend. So I may just take the whole weekend off and I'll just do like a simple Thursday stream or something, because
yeah,
I know we're
take
gonna
time
have a
for your,
holiday next week. So Temple will
yeah,
probably be
take time for
longer.
yourself
Yeah,
and your family
Temple will probably
for
be
sure.
longer than usual next week. So there's that, and then we're gonna have family dinner over the weekend itself, and I might be staying for a family visit. So I just want to keep next weekend clear. So, and then of course, then we're halfway through the month already. So yeah, and then in May we'll mostly be doing Star Wars content on my channel, but we will slip into London for an episode or two just because we want to keep the momentum going.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm down for this more or less whenever if I don't have an unbalanced stream planned.
do
Um,
do we want to go back and discover the first Eagle Eyes, the one that happened in the one that takes place in the fictional American town where Jake and Jennifer are from? Which I have no knowledge of that game. I never played that one.
oh, really? So it'd be new for you as well?
Yeah,
Maybe. Let's get through this first and then talk about it. But yeah, I think I would be down for that. That
yeah.
sounds. This is a cute game. It's well done. I love the 256 color VGA. What is it? Three. What is it? 320 by 480? No, what am I thinking of? Either way, VGA graphics. I'm digging the graphics. Uh, from that time period, there seemed to be a lot of artistry involved in getting such a limited number of pixels to look so much like what you wanted it to look like. And a lot of the games of this time period have that same kind of look to them because of the graphic style. And I really like them. It's kind of what I cut my teeth on, back in the early days of 386 and 486 computers. So
Which
yeah,
reminds me of another game from around the same era we had. It was one of those old Sierra point and click adventures.
yeah,
It was about crazy mixed up fairy tales, and I think it would be fun to revisit that one on stream. We could probably knock it out in like one or two episodes, because
yeah,
that
yeah.
one was a kiddie game and didn't have much content. It was like five stories that had to be fixed. I do remember the villain in that game. It was like a cartoony dragon called the Bookworm, who basically ate books and messed up the fairy tales.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Wait, was Bookworm the good guy character, or the good guy narrator character, or the bad guy villain character? It's been like 3 decades since I played that game.
I
I'll
think I
have to.
think bookworm sounds like something that would be more identifiable with people, and that's probably be the good guy
Yeah.
character, I would think.
I remember there was a dragon character, and then there was like a troll character, and then of course the characters from the fairy tales themselves. Which there were some stories that Disney had done, of course, but these were the original fairy tale versions, so they were
Yeah.
different from the Disney versions. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
some of those fairy tales are terrifying, man.
yeah.
Like the Brothers Grimm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if that game happens to be on one of these DOS emulator sites, you can bet I'll be hitting that one over the summer. But it's only going to be in like
Oh,
2 episodes.
yeah, yeah. Well, do some research and check it out, and I'll do the same on my part. I want to get a kind of a regular series going, and I may do that with South of Midnight. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do Since Alan's not in tomorrow, I will, or Unbalanced isn't. God, I need to stop doing that. Since Unbalanced is not in tomorrow, I'm probably going to do the South of Midnight stream tomorrow night and see how it goes. You know, see what kind of opportunities it gives me and how everything flows. So we'll take it from
I'm
there.
going
But
to miss playing the monster game until I get my new phone. In fact, I don't even want to touch the old phone at this point unless I have to. There's one thing I do know that I realized after I mentioned before that I forgot to pull off of there, but pulling it off of there is going to be like a simple matter. Just plug it in, turn it back on, go into my Google Drive sync program, boom, it's done. And that's just
yeah,
my photos folder, which it's like 2 gigs maybe. There's a couple of videos in there,
your
but
photos folder is only 2 gigs. Wow.
well, I never took photos a lot, so
Ah, gotcha. All right. Mine is like I am currently 98% full on my Google One thing, and it keeps complaining at me about it.
yeah. I'm also because I'm mainly switching to Google Drive as kind of like universal storage, and that way I can integrate my files and pull them from either the computer or the phone. So it makes
Yeah,
sense to use Google Drive as my storage. So
yeah,
I'm gonna systematically go through and start watching the videos I'm storing there at the rate of one a day, so I can purge them and get them out of being held in memory there, so I have more space for other things.
yeah.
100
Okay,
gigs is a lot, so I want to make
that's a
sure
lot.
I'm using the 100 gigs properly.
Yeah, no, agreed. All right, so we're coming up at 20 minutes past the hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop and go to good night mode, and yeah, just Evie, if you want to, like, if you, I don't know, if you come up with any stream plans for tomorrow, let me know, and
Remember, I can't text you, so my only ways of getting in touch with you
oh,
are through
yeah,
Discord chat and Facebook Messenger.
nuts. Yeah, I don't even have Facebook Messenger open these days.
So yeah,
Um,
but Discord chat. I mean, Discord is my computer for some reason has Discord as one of the startup programs. So instead of
mm,
closing it like I usually do when I'm not using it, I'll just leave it open in case you want to get a message through to me.
okay. All right, so I will try to remember that for my part. But yeah, I'll just my stream plans are to do something tomorrow night. It won't be with Unbalanced. I don't know. It'll either be Legos or South of Midnight. It'll probably be South of Midnight because it's much easier to set up for that. So,
Yeah.
but at any rate, yeah, we're coming up 1:30 very shortly Eastern Standard Time or Daylight Time or whatever we're in now. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop. Did you have anything else,
Yeah,
Evie, for the moment?
for my people, we're gonna rate John Lee Music. He did say in his notification the other day that he's getting ready to quit Twitch, but I think that was supposed to be his attempt at an
Oh.
April Fool's joke. So I'm gonna find out for sure tonight.
Oh, yeah, I
I
can
mean,
see that.
considering that his Twitch stream is about a third of his business, I don't
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
would just suddenly announce to quit
Bail.
after
Yeah,
being
no, I
like the.
agree.
He's like one of the he's like one of the biggest, most well-known Twitch musicians.
Yeah,
So I don't think he would just up and quit like that, like so many other Twitch musicians that I've followed in the past have.
yeah,
But I want to, since I saw that notification, I haven't actually been able to check in on his stream because I've been listening to other musicians or busy, otherwise busy and doing other things. So tonight I
yeah.
will ask him for sure and find out if that was in fact what he meant as his April Fool's joke, which I suspected was. This guy, by the way, he can play tournament level chess, a game of tournament level chess, and a tournament level game of Scrabble simultaneously.
Oh wow.
Obviously not with the same person, but
Yeah.
that gives you an idea of the sort of genius he is.
Well, they're different parts of the brain. One, the chess game is the mathematical part of the brain, and
Yeah.
what was the other game? What was the other game?
Scrabble.
Scrabble. Yeah, that's more the linguistic center. So yeah, I could see somebody pulling that off.
Yeah, so yeah, he's kind of a low key genius here. So we're gonna rate John Lee Music. I'm gonna find out what's up with his announcement from the other day, and yeah, and if he is in fact quitting Twitch, that'll be a big loss for Twitch, and that'll also be a big loss for me because he's one of few streamers who's consistently on late night, and so
Yeah.
if he so if he disappears, I won't have many raid options for the big weekend streams like this.
Do you know how many what his subscriber count is by chance, or
Um,
roughly? Is it in the thousands or millions
I would. Well, it
or
wouldn't be in the
hundreds or what?
millions, but I would. I'm trying to see if it says anywhere on Twitch. He typically has a lot of people in his chat on a given. I mean, not like the Bob Ross channel, of course, but nobody can beat the Bob Ross channel for simultaneous viewers. But I'm trying
I
to pull
think
him up.
maybe not. I don't know.
I'm trying to pull him
I
up.
barely know.
So, yeah, I don't think it says how many. Oh, it says he has 25,000 followers, just over.
Yeah, if he's got that many, yeah, if he's got that many people connecting in and that sort of thing, then um, he's probably making pretty good, pretty decent money at it, or at least a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah,
you know,
25,000
I
is
don't
kind of
look
a
at
big
this for
deal. So,
monetization. I don't get any money from
so
it.
yeah,
So,
so I'm gonna rate John
how
Lee.
many
I'm gonna
25?
rate John Lee. I'm gonna download my video and I'll wait till I'm awake tomorrow to process the video. And I'm gonna keep monitoring my computer
Cool.
temperature, so because I've been having temperature spikes recently.
Gotcha.
It could
All right.
just
Well,
be
I will go.
it could just
Sorry,
be
go
that
ahead.
we have the door closed now because it's been warmer outside, so I
Right.
don't have the cold air coming in from outside, keeping the room cool right now. So it could
Yeah.
be have something to do with that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop as well because I'm starting to fade. Also,
All right, I'm
it's been
initiating the
a
raid.
long week for all of us. So, all right,
Have
you do your raid. I'm gonna go to good night mode, and I will see everyone hopefully tomorrow night. Everyone, take care. Thanks for joining, and Brett the Breton signing out. Take care, guys.
and good night to everyone on both streams. If you're on my stream, we're rating out to John Lee Music. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see what happens. This phone thing is a bummer, but at least we've already put things in motion to get the new phone. So have a good night. I'll see you soon.
All right, peace out. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Uncle Evie, welcome in. How's it going, man? Are you doing some Lego today? Oh, it's my turn.